another episode of The Watchman with me, your host, John Lucas. Make some noise, that's right. Clap it up and get excited wherever you are. We're back on this Thursday afternoon covering the world of boxing and beyond with so much to discuss in a litany of topics to delve into with the aftermath of the press conference with Teofimo Lopez and Shakur Stevenson, using one of the rhetorics that we heard Teo use in a post-presser podcast with Teofimo Lopez and Shakur going against each other. Since he's saying, or back in the question, is Shakur too slow for Teo? But it might not be in a way that you may think, and it could be in the mental capacities of in-ring fight quality, at least from the standpoint of what Teo may see as a weakness, hypothetically, in Shakur Stevenson, and so much more revolving around conversations around that fight. Also, we got fights coming up this weekend with Diego Pacheco versus Seijo. Still looking forward to stuff the week afterwards. Jake Paul, Anthony Joshua. Yes, we might not want to talk about the brother, but it's too big of a deal not to deal with. Because Lord, we're going to delve into it and so much more with you all on our show today. So we appreciate you tuning in. We appreciate you listening. And if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Yes, indeed. Come on and join the Empire. Be a part of the hottest show in all of the globe right here on YouTube and on every podcasting platform imaginable. Also, be sure to go ahead and hit the notification bell so you know whenever we post right here on YouTube. Leave a like on the video if you haven't already. Keep on. It helps with the algorithms. And be sure to chat your thoughts and opinions in the chat section on the side down or down below, wherever you got your where you can place your comments on the screen, so we can see you as a part of the conversation. We want your voice to be heard. You're as much of a part of the show as I am in making the show. You can make this thing even better, bigger and better and grander, all with your input and viewing support. And if you want to support the channel, hey, we got Cash App, we got PayPal, we got links down below in the description. All with your support, we can make this thing grow into an absolute monolith of a community. So if you can give, please do. And also you can give through super chats, gifts, and other types, or shoot, whatever other things you can do on YouTube and around with the chat second. I think it's super thanks as well. If you want to give and you deem us worthy of your support, or you just want to make sure that your chats are indeed read, hey, send some stuff. We'll make sure that we get you out there, and we'll make sure to appreciate you and thank you for sending homes to the Empire. Absolutely. And it's been a great thing. And also, for the last thing, be sure to share the show with everybody that you know so we can keep on building up this empire together. Yes, sir. We can't do this without you. And oh, yes, indeed, the more you share, the more people know, and the more we can grow. All with your viewing and listening, or all with your viewing and listening support. It means the world to me. Whether you're in your car, on your job, at home, shoot, just driving around, I don't care what you're doing. Tell a friend of a friend of a friend. Tell your mama, your daddy, your sister, your brother, your cousin, your aunt, your auntie. I don't care who in the world you know. Tell them that this is the place to be in the hottest show in all the globe, all for your entertainment and fun. So, hey, without further ado, we got boxing to cover. We got sports to delve into. We got people in the chat that we need to address real quick before we get into the full-blown intro. Like with Jose Martinez. Hey, brother, how you doing? Good to see you. Thank you for tuning into the show with us today. Who you got winning? I got Shakur, by majority decision. What we're going to delve into that, again, as we get into the topics of the day. Also, that's the Deborah Bunkles. I believe this is actually Justin, who is behind the scenes. What's going on, brother? How you doing, Justin? Good to see you. Thank you for tuning in to the show. And anybody else who wants to join in and be a part of the conversation, hey, again, feel free to chat. We appreciate it. But again, without further ado, we got to delve into the world of boxing and the world of sports. So it is time to step into the ring. Yeah, buddy. Oh, yeah. Let's get it started. Ring the bell. Round one of the show going underway as we have, since you can piggyback off the comment that we heard in one of the interviews with Shakur and Teo, is Shakur too slow for Teofimo Lopez? Yes. Volatile title, ain't it? Volatile shock value, ain't it? Oh, yes, indeed. But we ain't just saying that just for show. We ain't just saying that just to get some clicks. You know, we just trying to get some movement through, trying to grow as a channel. But it's a real conversation to have, because it is what indeed Teo may think in more regards to the mental aspects of how Teofimo Lopez sees this fight as going, not just being able to go his way, but going into a complete controlling narrative if we go by how he was talking And anyway, now full disclosure, and again, as we go and answer Jose Martinez message real quick, right now, I'm not gonna lie, it's really 50-50. It's really 50-50. I've flip-flopped about where this fight is going to go for the longest time. Yes, I have. I've been, first I said at 135, it was going to be all Teo. Oh, excuse me, at 140, it was going to be all Teo because Teo's too big. And I was saying, well, no, maybe the IQ and the defensive almost invulnerability, coupled with the aspect of Shakur being, if he grows in 140, well, he's going to be a better fighter athletically, all these different things, but then Teo's still a freak of nature with an IQ that can fight up to anybody. It's been 50-50 for me every single time I go and talk about this fight. For real. And it's not, I want to make a decision, but that's why I'm so glad this thing's happening in January. So I'm going to have some more time to really delve into the thought processes of what my concrete feelings are as I'm drinking my morning cup of joe. But in all actuality, I'm proud. As of right now, I'm going to have to go slightly with Teo. As of right now. Now, that's not me trying to say that the likes of Shakur can't beat him. Be clear. That's not me trying to say that I got some favorites. I ain't got no skin in the game one way or another. I've talked about both of these fighters from the standpoint of the quality of ability, the legit, all-encompassing nature and just outright talent that both of them have shown on display throughout their career. I ain't got no dog in the fight, but what I do got is a mind for the, I think I got a mind for the game, and this mind's telling me that right now, it would be a egregious, let me say that, what would be egregious? It would be it'd be a hard thing to pick either of the two, but because of what I saw in this press conference, as of right now, I'm leaning towards Teo. And again, there's two reasons why. Number one, if we're going to look at how this press conference actually went, and honestly, that's what I should have put as, in fact, I can change the title right now of this show a little bit. This is actually kind of a reaction to the press conference that was going around, or that was going about with Shakur and Teo, which, again, it was pretty decently entertaining, decently fun, decently, it wasn't as, it kind of lost a little bit from what I thought it was going to be. But in terms of the mind games that get played and all that stuff, we see what's going on with Teo and Shakur, and it might not seem like Teo was saying a bunch of nothing, not going off on tangents, doing a lot of the childish jokes, but in the framework of getting Shakur off his game, you could make an argument that worked. You really could. And you could make an argument that this is a start of the mental warfare of how Teo's going to try to make Shakur feel uncomfortable, out of his element, very much not confused, but uneasy, treading lightly where he walks. Now I noticed he was starting to once he got into that second, the second joking antics of Teofimo Lopez, all of a sudden he started, watching what he said, watching what he did. And we've seen the past with Teofimo's opponents inside the ring. Part of the reason why he's able to do what he's able to do is because he's then able to get them, in terms of his opponents, to tread lightly on how they operate inside the ring. Now again, I'm not trying just to be belligerent, just overread into everything. I'm not trying to do that. I am saying we have seen instances in boxing before where part of the dichotomy of the mental warfare and pre-fight antics lead into what happens, again, in the actual fight. It does. For example, Teo and not Teo, Frank Martin and Tank. Tank flinched at him. Frank Martin went like that, stinking doggone, act like he was about to get shot. Reared up right back in reaction. Everybody was saying, yep, he got him. Yep, that right there showed what this fight was going to be like. And lo and behold, that was exactly how that fight was like. Frank Martin overcorrecting, Frank Martin getting too defensive, Frank Martin being scared of what was coming his way, and Frank Martin being too cautious and too anxious of the power that Tank was going to bring. Ended up being his downfall, being too predictable for how he defended his position, being too predictable where he was going to go, where he was going to dip, and what he was going to do. Next thing you know, KO. Another highlight reel knockout. And with T.O., that could be the same kind of slow, methodical, but long game level trap that we're seeing trying to play. Now, I'm not, again, it could be because of the fact that we have, again, seen stuff like this before. But also, beyond just the antics, which, again, I am going to play right here for you all, for the listening and viewing audience. I just got to make sure I actually got the clips correct, because I don't want y'all coming through and being like, this brother don't know what he's doing. This brother's a bum. This cat ain't got no couth in his ability to keep this show running and to keep everything like it's supposed to be. So I'm going to make sure I do what I need to do. Here we go. I got it up now. As I can see and as I can go and pull up the clips for you all right now in the old picture, yes, indeed, we're dealing with a type of situation where the likes of, beyond just the antics, beyond just the rhetoric, which again, I'm going to play both clips, it's also size that I didn't take into account on the side of Tio when it comes to what he was going to look like in this fight. And again, as we can see some of the quotes from Teofimo or Shakur Stevenson, I see me winning, putting on a masterclass performance, and Teofimo crying after the fight. He said one of the quotes that he said inside of the press conference on stage in Madison Square Garden. But right here, if you missed it, just some of the things that Tio was doing to get inside of the mind, the head, and the psyche of the likes of Shakur Stevenson. Also, let me make sure y'all can see it. Okay, yeah, y'all can't see it. So here you go. Make sure y'all can hear it too. Shoot, gotta make sure everything's always up to snuff. There we go.
Check out my balls.
What?
I'll fuck you hard,
bro. Pause.
Fuck you hard. Room for these nuts.
Faster.
Yo, you. Man, god damn, he gotta stop that. Like, I don't know if he think that, like, doing that is, like, bringing more views or, like, that's something cool to do to get people talking, but, yeah, I just don't agree with that, how you moving when it comes to that.
Jiggle my balls.
See, and again, look, I apologize for the rhetoric. I apologize for the language. I can't control it. But in terms of I'm sorry. Looking back at it again, yeah, it is hilarious. I'm not going to lie. It's hilarious how, in fact, he just kind of got him so. Boy, Shakur frazzled. He literally didn't know what to say in response, because it was so out of pocket. But again, it works in the favor because it gets you mentally uneasy. Mentally uneasy. No, I'm saying Shakur can't talk, but when you're dealing with somebody who is just almost disregarding of whatever you may think you can bring to the table, he will put you out of your element, and that is something that Shakur might not be comfortable with. Something that Shakur might not have dealt with at this type of level against this type of talker. Yes, he's had other people talk, but when I told y'all T was going to bring a show, good or bad, it's affected the opponent one way or another. The being able to be the forefront, not just of driving conversation, but the forefront of, hey, this guy, why is he so the way that he is? Why does he, what's with this dude? Those types of questions go and ponder on the minds, not just outside the ring, but also inside as well. Also, hello, Jay, what's going on with you? How you doing? Good to see you. Thank you for tuning into the show with us today. So glad you're here with us. Yo, Jean-Luc Welch, how you doing? Appreciate you tuning into the show. Also, hello, Jay. How'd you find the press conference the other day between T.O. and Shakur? Well, I found it interesting. Again, it wasn't as exciting as I thought it was going to be, but it was able to help me tell at least a little bit of some inference on what this fight could be. Like I said before, with Tio getting Shakur uncomfortable, out of his element, and making him very much, dare I say, on the back foot. Again, I'm not saying it's a good press conference. I'm saying this is something that Shakur may not have dealt with before at this level with this type of talking head. If you understand what I'm saying. But in light of that, on top of it, because again, he was saying some out-of-pocket stuff. Be clear. He was saying a lot of out-of-pocket stuff. He was saying some crazy stuff all day long. But on top of that, if we go and look at the rest of the press conference, it wasn't just the rhetoric. It wasn't just the words. Boy, it was the face-to-face. Now, the face-to-face when they stared off against each other, that was phenomenal. That was incredible. That was stupendous. That was, dare I say, incredibly telling. If I can find them standing face to face, where the world is it? I know I saved the video. Oh, I know where it is. Hold on. I know where to get it. I know exactly where to go get this thing. I know exactly where to go to find Shakur and Tio face to face on stage. Because this was, when we're talking about the physical capabilities, which again is going to be the bigger aspect of where this whole show is going to be. Yes, reaction to press conference and all that stuff, but even bigger, looking at them face to face, brother Tio, I didn't realize how big Tio was. At least at 140, with how I was talking about Shakur being again a big kid. Tio, that brother, hey man, that's a wide dude. That's a wide dude. I'm serious. That's a wide brother. And he's about his, and he's, I think he's taller. If he ain't taller, he would be about even with Shakur. But that frame, whoo. Shakur's, he's a big dude, don't get me wrong, but he ain't that. He ain't that. That's a little bit different. But again, I'm going to want to hear your reactions and thoughts as I'm about to play the video. But let me see what y'all got to say. Let me see. Bunkles, I see kind of what Tio was saying. I think Shakur has slower hand speed, but the problem is foot speed. Shakur can't move. And again, we're gonna talk about that as well. Clubber D, how you doing? Good to see you. Thank you for tuning in. Show Tio Simmons Cringe does anything for attention, good, bad, and or discussing. All he wants is attention. And I'm not saying you're not wrong. Again, he can play the media incredibly well. He is a maestro one of the maestros when it comes to being a polarizing figure. We get that completely. For better or for worse, that is Teofimo Lopez. But in the conversation revolving around this fight, though you may not like it, we can understand the effects of that. Hey, they legit. The effects of that are real. Or the effects of that on the psyche of Tio. Or rather, on the psyche of Shakur, excuse me. With him being, yes, he's been on this type of stage before. But it gets to the point that can make you feel so out of your element. Why you moving like that? Why you talking like that? Why you rocking like that? You know, what's wrong with this dude? Who you think he is? You know, you acting real suspect right now in a manner that I'm trying to keep it boxing. You taking all these other places. I don't really know how to deal with it in this type of regard. I don't know what to say. Again, had him said, for better or for worse, had him stumped on stage. Again, I'm not trying to ride from one or the other. I'm saying in regards to reactions. This is a little bit different playing field from the battle of the minds, the mental landscape of the fight. Before the fight, Shakur is a little bit different. He's dealt with trash talk. He's dealt with people talking and being bravado, saying you ain't strong, you can't punch. He's dealt with all that, but this is an unorthodox type of psychological warfare. Either you got to be able to stoop to his level and you play his game and see if you can beat him at his unorthodox manner or banter, or you go through and you absolutely take the high road and you don't even show that it phases you. Shakur ain't do neither of that. He tried, but it wasn't as effective. Everybody's coming away with saying, most of the things on Twitter, Shakur got shut down, quote unquote. Whether you think that's real or not, that's the sentiment. A lot of people, and trust me, Tio sees that. Or rather, and Shakur sees it. So it's an interesting brand of warfare. But again, let me make sure I'm not wasting too much time. Let me actually go through the stare down like I was trying to play with the show. And also, let's see, I enjoyed the interview. Did you see? I didn't get to see all of it. I didn't get to see all of it because I had some other stuff I had to do, and I was trying to listen and move and work, and it was a lot going on. But I'm listening to the rest of the day. But the good points I did take is what we're gonna play here today. But let me not waste any more time. Picture in picture, the stare down. I did want to say this as in terms of the physical makeup of this fight. I was gonna make sure y'all can see it. Yeah, there we go. As you can see, also, let me make sure I'm not trying to get copyrighted. So let me. This is the stare down of Teo and Shakur, and I did not realize. I knew Shakur was a big kid, and I actually thought that Shakur was actually taller. In fact,
Championships of the
Teo's
world.
bigger.
It is the undefeated challenger, Shakur Stevenson,
especially,
I
I think it's like in 2 minutes. Yeah, but we're not in 2 minutes right here. When you take your shirt off, we kind of get to see the difference in width between the two. And I think this is the first time that I've looked at him in terms of Teo and been like, oh my gosh, this man, like this is a built cat. This is, like, I didn't expect the height difference to be so similar, if not potentially bigger, depending on, we got a little bit of Shakur's hair down, and we get down to the skull. Might be saying it's tied to his shoulder. And also, I didn't realize how big Teo's head was. I didn't realize how big Teo's head was. And I'm not saying that in a negative light. I'm saying that because of the fact, either two things. Either one, he's going to be easy target to get hit. Or two, maybe this is the reason why outside of Cambosos, he ain't really been hurt a whole bunch. This brother got a skull and got a physique. And if you look at the whole the entirety of the stare down, what I said, I can't play the clip or I can't play the sound because they got stinking copyrighted music, and I'm not about to get copyrighted. But when I said that this fight was going to be the most physically, from the standpoint of competitive first, most physically demanding fight that Shakur's going to have to deal with. Not saying they're going to be clinching up and hugging on each other and having to muscle you around, but in terms of dealing with raw athletic ability, this is the best that Shakur has ever faced. And look, he can turn it on a dime from media to focus. But this cat, brother, when he was staring at Shakur, all that play stuff went out the window. Shakur was dead serious from the jump. And when he was in the press conference, it seemed like Teo wasn't really all, driven. But once they stared at each other, dude, first taste of Shakur dealing with, okay, this is what it's like to be in front of somebody that hypothetically could be seen as similar to greatness as me. Another real live dog. I ain't faced one like that in a long time from the standpoint of talent for talent, level for level, and ability versus ability. It's been a minute. So I'm telling you, it's gonna be an interesting fight. I can't wait to see it. I'm excited for it. Every time I bring this up, it's great. It's phenomenal. It's incredible. Legit. It is incredible indeed. But let me keep on reading what you all have to say on the matter. Let me see. That's fair. A lot of people that I've seen said Teo said a good point about Shakur won't fight his brothers, Keyshawn Richards Keyshawn Richardson, etc. for like bet. And I think we talked about that before also on this show in regards to the conversation with Shakur and Shakur and Keyshawn Davis never gonna fight each other because they're like brothers to each other. Shakur brought him out of a dark place and put his life back on track. And because of that, it's lifelong bond, lifelong blood. You don't want to go through and mitigate it. Almost like the situation with the Klitschko's, where it was the Klitschko's, even though they were both reigning as heavyweight champions with each other, they would not fight each other. They never defended the belts against each other. And if we want to go in regards to that clip with Keyshawn Davis, I got it right here. But before that, I do want to make sure I play this other clip of Shakur and Teo. Like I also see, because we're talking about the breakdown of the fight and post what happened afterwards. This is the real bread and butter of this whole conversation. Right. This one specific instance in the clip. On top of all these, because we're going to get to Keyshawn Davis and all that other stuff. But this right here is something that we do need to make sure that we do discuss. Okay, just making sure y'all can see it. Make sure y'all can hear it.
Slow, right?
Mentally.
Oh my God, mentally, okay. I'm talking about I'm slow in the boxing ring, right?
Mentally.
I'm talking about the boxing ring, what you was talking about. I'm slow, right?
Mentally.
Now, again, part of the like is, again, you ain't gotta like him, but the brother's good. The brother's good at being able to control a conversation. And again, making his opponents get under his opponent's skin. But this specific interaction kind of stood out to me. Because he ain't changed his answer all 3 times. In the ring. Mentally. Think I'm slow. Mentally. Now, more normal people take that as disrespect. No, I'm saying, hey man, you trying to say that I'm mentally inept. I got some inability. I got some problem with. Hey brother, what's wrong with you? We know how this normally leads into. But the bigger thing, even beyond just the perceived insulting nature, which it may have been, in the ring, Teo still ain't stutter. Mentally, I think you slow. Mentally, I think you're slow. Straight up. And what we've talked about with Shakur oftentimes is the mental aspect of the game, the IQ, have we not? The ability of him to be able to go and outthink his opponents. Not just the adaptability, but he doesn't even need to adapt because he already knows how to beat you. With the distance management, with the depth perception, the punch perception, the defense, the ring generalship, being able to control where you can go, cutting off essentially like a surgical, like a surgeon, dissecting you down little by little into nothing. Taking away everything that you can do. Isolating you into a one-frame track of mind of what is actually going to be allowed for you to be able to accomplish inside the ring. And it's only what Shakur wants you to be able to accomplish. And if he does choose to fight you in your own domain, well, guess what? Like we saw with William Cepeda, I can do that too and still pick you apart as if it's my domain. Again, and it is a legit thing of the brother is a genius. The brother's a maestro. The brother is a savant. He has been amongst training and fighting some of the best in the world and has came out head and shoulders above nearly everybody from the sweet science of boxing perspective. But even with all that being said, Teo still stayed true. Same sentiment. And it could be what I think I've been saying this, or at least I've been alluding to this, of somewhat the underestimating of Teofimo Lopez mentally up here. With everything else that's happened outside of boxing, I get it, absolutely. Yeah, the brother's been a mess. The brother's been an absolute mess. Brother's gone off the rails in every single way possible. Yes, he has. Oh, yes, he has. But inside the ring, even with the ups and downs, which again has been held against him, as Shakur keeps saying, again, you lost to Cambosos, what the world's wrong with you? You ain't done nothing. I get all that. But when he is at his best, not trying to sound like a broken record, this man can fight up to and even above the best in the world, like he did with Lomachenko, like he did with Josh Taylor, and since his run to 140, like he's been doing throughout this entire time. Since this qualitative, consistent, stand-alone type of Teofimo Lopez, and by stand-alone, I mean he doesn't have a bunch of other things and issues standing beside him, at least not at this point in time. This cat truly does feel Mentally, you ain't what you think you are, and you better not think I'm on your level. You're not trying to read in. We're going into what the track record of how Tio has been operating. Also using what he's done as a testament, not just his ability, but to say, show the reason why he would feel this way. Mentally, you can't think in the way that I do. Mentally, you good, but comparative to me, you don't know really what you're getting into at this point in time. Physically, sure, I'm faster. Feet-wise, yeah, you're faster. Absolutely. You're talking about Shakur. But up here, he's trying, the building blocks are getting set of once comes fight night, at least what Teos might be trying to propagate to the likes of Shakur, you may think that regardless of whatever physical athletic ability I may be able to bring into the ring, that you'll be able to go and outthink me like a rabbit outrunning a turtle. But I'm telling you this now. This up here motor in Tio's mind is the best part of his game. In Tio's mind, forget all the power. Forget the athletic ability. Forget the willingness to go through and put you to sleep, style on you, have flash and instincts and all that stuff. Forget all that. Guarantee you Tio feels it up here in the IQ department, in the mindscape of his abilities. This is where he is always above his opponents. This is where he feels he is the dominant figure in every regard. And this is where he's trying to get Shakur to set up to say, keep on underestimating me. Keep on thinking that you, with everything that's been said about you, keep on thinking that there ain't nobody that is on your level. And if you are thinking like that, well, then you brand my point even more. Mentally, you're slow because you ain't caught up to the fact that I'm not going to be somebody you can just outthink and then be able to walk through like I'm nothing. Again, in Tio's mind. And that's something we need to talk about more fervently. Something I've been trying to think about more often. Hey, man, I'm starting to think. Again, we still got a long time till the fight comes. But I'm starting to think. And I've been thinking this since Barboza. I've been thinking this since before Barboza. Every time I see Tio's fights, I keep on, for me, I keep on overlooking kind of the ability of how he thinks about the game. Because all the other stuff has gotten in my way to look at what he is and what he's done and all that. Which, again, has been bad. We know. But inside the ring, hey man, this brother, I think we need to start taking him more seriously of what he is as a mental fighter. Get him in regards to putting him on the proper pedestal. Of, hey man, Shakur ain't the only one who is a elevated level above competition of how they think the game. And I think I think Tio might be up there too. I think Tio might be, not might be, I think he is up there. I really do think he is. And you can say that he ain't going to be able to just outthink him outright. All right, fine. There's a reason why there's a concern that this fight may be boring, because it could be a chess match, like which that Shakur, theoretically, I'm not saying meets his match, but just like he saw in the press conference, but might have a response in the same way that he has with other fighters in the past. Again, just food for thought, but I want to see what you all have to say. Let me see. Beach. Beach Soul, what's going on with you? How you doing? Good to see you. Thank you for tuning into the show with us today. Sorry to be with you. Oh, sorry that you joined in with us on today's episode. Also, I'm in Roda. How you doing? As well, good to see you. Tio could break him. Yes, he could. Absolutely. We're talking about the mental game. I want to hear from you all your thoughts on the mental landscape between Tio and Shakur. Where do you feel not just the scales swing from who's favorite, but do you think, like with me, Tio ain't getting the level of IQ respect that he actually should be getting from a type of fighter he can be, especially going up against somebody this great. Let me see. Do you feel like do you feel like the Teo who beat Loma fairly easily can do the same thing to Shakur? Yeah. The Teo that beat Loma, the Teo that beat Josh Taylor, and the Teo that, again, who beat the best in the world, that Teo has the ability to beat Shakur. Not saying it's guaranteed. Not. But I'm saying it's there. Some people put past for that performance. Yes, it was a phenomenal win. How he beat him. It was how he beat him. He made Lomachenko had to work some of the hardest he's ever had to work. And then when Lomachenko started coming back, he still beat him in round 12. And mind you, he not just was able to box with him, at some points he outboxed Loma. And with his athletic ability, stifled Lomachenko from being as dominant of a moving matrix level target with timing, speed, anticipation, predictive instincts, also good defense and positioning. All of that allowed for him to win the first 5 rounds. Keep the fight close in every round that Loma was winning, even though Loma won from round 6 to about 11. Tied up 1 round to go. Now we need to you pick our shots, dig deep, and do everything we need to make sure we get this fight out with the win. He did that. And when he's done that against everybody else, the brother's a problem. When he hasn't done that, yeah, he's been faltered. Yes, Sandor Martin, problems, absolutely. Yes, Ortiz, problems, absolutely. We discussed that years ago, and then we're still discussing that today. But we're talking about if that Teo comes in here, I'm telling you, or rather, let me even rephrase that. That Teo that faced off against Loma is the Teo that he's going to try to be in that fight with Shakur. He's going to have to be clear. He's going to have to be. He's going to have to be that version of Teo. He's going to have to be akin to the best performance he had in his career. This is not a question. That's not a debate. Because it's going to be an incredible problem. We're not going to disrespect what Shakur is. We understand that that's what it takes to beat Shakur. If you're going to beat him, you got to be able to think and perform at that type of level. But because he did it before, and he's become a more physically gifted, mature, and just as dangerous from the standpoint of all-around ability fighter. Who's not had experience, who has experienced loss, who's gone through a redesigning of himself as well. It's going to take that type of Teo to beat him, but he can be that type of Teo. He can be that. And you couldn't tell me that type of Teo, when he beat Loma, wasn't seen as, oh my gosh, this dude is going to take on the world. If he just stays locked in. Because he just out-thought and outbeat in a very close competitive affair what was seen at that point in time of the past generation as the best pure boxer in the game. One of the best footwork-driven fighters we've ever seen. And like I said, we've seen with Teofimo Lopez. Yes, Shakur, you can argue Shakur has better feet than Lomachenko, or than Teo, excuse me. He ain't got better feet than Lomachenko. He doesn't. He ain't got better footwork than Lomachenko. That's not a knock. That's not a knock. Be clear. I'm not knocking him. I'm saying what we know. Does he have better feet than Lomachenko? He's got phenomenal feet. Elite feet and some of the best distance in the land. But they don't fight the same, and also he doesn't have that ability. His ability is completely unique. But what he uses to make his own unique ability of defense and distance so adamant, it's something that T.O. can't get over. And he's dealt with better in that regard. So if it's about catching up to you, how can you catch Shakur? If he can catch and time Loma, he can do it with Shakur too. And it's not me saying it's going to guarantee win. It's me saying this is the painted picture of how exactly we got to look at this fight on a deeper level rather than Shakur just going to be too smart. He's going to be too good on his jab, and you can't hit him. You can't hit him. Well, you couldn't hit Lomachenko either. And look at what happened. What you could argue was a more in-prime version of Lomachenko than who fought the likes of Devin Haney. When he was undisputedly number one in the world at that point in time when he fought Teofimo Lopez. Again, it's not me trying to make a comparison to say one is better than the other. I'm simply trying to paint a picture to give you a different perspective on the IQ department and the mental faculties involved in this fight. T.O. thinks Shakur mentally is slow inside the ring because he dealt with Lomachenko. And I would, just like I said, that Lamont Roach, after fighting Tank, thought he could fight anybody in the pocket. And that's why he went and waited until round 6 or 7 to go through and start fighting on the outside with Eastside Cruz. It wasn't because he was being dumb. It's because, hey, but I dealt with Tank. Why do I got to worry about Eastside Cruz? I've dealt with better. From the standpoint of power, from the standpoint of danger, I've dealt with better. It might be a different game, it might be a different man, it might be a different name, but the same thing applies. You ain't Tank in Lamont Roach's mind. So yeah, I'm going to stick out and I'm going to go and I'm going to stick it inside of the fight. We're going to go through and we're going to be head to head, nose to nose, trading uppercuts and hooks. Because you ain't Tank. Why would I back off when I should have beaten better? And that's how he thought, and that's why he fought like he fought. Because what he did molded what he knows he can do. And who he did it against. And I guarantee you, from T.O.'s mentality, though you might say that it's crazy that he went and talked like this, what do you mean that Shakur is mentally slow? But he's well-versed, he's well-talented, he can speak very fluently, he's incredibly insightful. Though I don't agree with a lot of his opinions, he can back up whatever he's saying. And from the standpoint of Sugar Ray Robinson and what he said about past generations, Roberto Duran, I don't agree with that in the slightest. But at least he can make arguments. But he ain't saying that for no reason. I can give him that. But all this stuff, all this disrespect to even insinuate, that this brother can't think quick. Well, no. He's saying, in terms of T.O., you can't think on that level. And I've dealt with a literal matrix supercomputer in Lomachenko. You ain't him. So you ain't fast to me. In terms of thinking, processes, downloading and adapting information, going through and making adjustments, going through and being able to make a new game plan, all that type of stuff. I've dealt with somebody who literally broke the system. I'm not worried about what you think your mental capacity can be, because you ain't that in T.O.'s mind. Just to give you a perspective as to why, at least in my opinion, he is saying this type of stuff. It ain't just a slight. It ain't just, trying to get under his skin. As much as we can say Shakur can see all these holes in T.O.'s game, which could be true. Absolutely. There are holes that are there, but I'm telling you, T.O., that mask of pomp, circumstance, and almost just add weirdness that we may see from Teo from time to time. It is a mask. When that butt is on it, he's on it. Let me see. Lopez is a defensive-minded fighter who has faced Teo that was defensive sound. Actually, because I'm not saying he is. He was more of an offensive-centric fighter. Absolutely. Okay, Lomachenko was still a genius, but he wasn't somebody that was like Shakur going through trying just to work and operate strictly on the back foot, strictly on just not getting hit. Yes, they're two different fighters. Absolutely. They're two different fighters from the standpoint of what their identity and their ability is. Lomachenko was make you miss, still be defensively great, make you miss and then go through and work. Absolutely. Absolutely. But at the same vein, but it was a savant in every regard, in the likes of which there are very few touched. Very few. Everybody was saying that. And it was justifiably so. He shouldn't have been able to fight at 135 like he did. It should have been at 126 to 130. The fact he fought up this high and would still be able to be that dominant. Only losing the physical freaks of nature again, like Devin Haney, who had in the fight we weighed in at 160. That's the belt. And Teofimo Lopez, who had been routinely seen as one of the greatest athletes we had at the sport at that point in time and even today. That's it. It doesn't take away from what the Rubik's Cube of problem solving you had to go through to actually just be competitive with that puzzle. I'm not trying to give this as an early prediction. Oh, Shakur ain't gonna have a chance. Oh, Shakur is gonna get whitewashed. I'm not saying that at all. What I am saying though is give you context as to why we're seeing Teo say this type of stuff, at least from my vantage point, because of what he's already done and who he did it against. And I guarantee you, he knows that Shakur is legit. But he's been, again, experienced. He's been here with this type of level talent before. He was even ranked higher, and he was able to accomplish the goal. This is Teo's first time dealing with this type of equal in this type of rank. I'm not saying he ain't faced off against weak competition. He has. But everybody has somebody where there's a person you ain't fought like this yet. Everybody's got that one person. This is a new level for you. What you gonna do? Abdul Macy hadn't fought somebody like Sam Noakes up until he did. And what happened? All of a sudden, the brother, he got showed something. Something got revealed in that fight about what it does mean to really be here. Not saying Shakur doesn't know what it means. He does. But that does take a factor, at least in Teo's mind, as to what I know I can do and what I know you can't do to me. At least pre-fight. Let me see. Shakur has a power jab that nobody has seen. It's a stiff jab. It's a stinging jab. He's got a stinging jab. Now when he does actually let his hands go, he's got some decent power and leather. Josh Padley he knocked him out and said, yeah, sure. Zapata, he was actually able to land some pretty thudding shots on him. And what I saw was his best offensive performance of his entire career, which I love. Now, I hope he fights more like that, but he said that he won't. But it's not power that will go and put you down or make you, oh my gosh. But it's not power, it will sting you. It will sting you. You'll feel it. You'll be like, ah. You'll be like, ah. Ooh. 2 rounds of that, all of a sudden you start, it starts to take some level of mental effect, as well as some slight bruising, slight swelling, can lead to cuts. It's that type of jab. But I don't know if it's a straight up power jab, at least from when I've been watching. I don't think it's straight power jab, but it is a phenomenal jab. And that Teo can't beat the Shakur that beat Jamal. Ooh, I don't know about that. I'm not trying to compare past eras with past eras, but if we did place that Shakur with that Teo, I'll say I don't think Shakur wins that fight. I don't think he wins that fight. I don't think if they fought at 135 at that point in time, I don't think he wins that fight. But this fight, yeah, this fight, there's a reason why it's a 50-50 affair. Because he's better than that version. Shakur's better than that version that beat Jamal Harry. It's better, more filled out. Got better sting. And the defensive, crazy enough, defensively, he did get better. Yes, his hands are, got some issues. But outside of that, I think that this fighter that now is better than the fighter that fought Jamal Harry. I hope so. It better be. Because you're going to need to be that good to fight like Teofimo. Each of them has to be the best version of whoever they were. They got to be in this current frame of mind and body. Because if they ain't, it's going to be like game over. It's going to be game over. It's going to be, at least for me. Let me see. Shakur is more precise than Loma with his punch play. Well, he's more, what's the word? Again, Shakur is more precise. Sure. That wasn't to say that Lomachenko wasn't precise. Lomachenko used other shots to set up the shot that he really wanted to land. Lomachenko's speed and volume wasn't just throwing stuff out. It was to set up the actual punch that he wanted to do. It was still great punch placement. He just threw a lot more. He threw a whole lot more. And at off angles. Like I said, two different fighters. I'm not joking. We can't compare in that type of vein how they are, what makes one. This is why this one's better than the other one in this type of framework, because like the goal of why they punched were different. The end game of what they were trying to do was different. Again, Loma was punching and making people quit. Shakur ain't trying to do that. But Shakur's trying to ice you out. Not by knocking you out, but by icing you, by making it so that there's a cold wind that blows between the distance between you and him. And if you do ever close that gap, sharp uppercut, counter, keeping you at bay. Not just sticking you with that jab, making you miss, and then pot shotting you. Short shots, good hooks, and keeping you at that distance, making you miss, repositioning, but being right in front of you, but then making it so that I'm a worlds away. That's more so Shakur's game plan. Ain't like Lomachenko. So I can't really compare how they punched in the same thing. Let me see. Monty, that's how you doing? Monty Carl, how you doing? Good to see you. Thank you for tuning in to the show. So glad that you're with us on today. Let me see what you guys say. Also, Denver Broncos ticket prices aren't saying yes. No, they are. Like I said, buddy, it's Madison Square Garden. You gotta understand. This is Madison. This is New York City just at the start of the new year. January 31st. Ending the first month of the year off strong with a mecca event of two of the hottest names in the sport right now that is guaranteed to sell out arenas, sell out stadiums, especially if we see this banter between the two actually start picking up a little bit more, get a little bit more feisty as they go through on social media and in the press conference. I guarantee you, the more the weeks get closer, the more hype this fight's gonna have. Don't let the card be even better. Don't let the rest of the card be worth all of the acclaim. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be phenomenal. It's gonna be phenomenal. But yeah, it's gonna be hot. It's gonna be steep, man. I'm gonna tell you. It's gonna be steep. It's gonna be steep. I can't lie, but it will be well worth the money. I'm not a shield, but I guarantee it's gonna be worth the money. I mean, Teo's saying that stuff because he's scared. No, he ain't doing that. He ain't saying that stuff because he's scared. I guarantee you he's not scared. I guarantee you he ain't scared. I promise you he ain't scared. That's not mean that he can be, again, respectful of the ability. We've seen scared fighters move a certain type of way when bravado goes out the window. We can see when they start panicking and saying stuff that is just I didn't see that. Again, I'm not trying to ride for one or the other. I'm just saying legit, I ain't see him be scared. I ain't see that type of warrior concern. At least in my perspective. I'm sure both fighters think they can win. Power can play a role in this fight. And that's another thing. See, Justin, that's another point. That's not a point. When we were looking at the framework of the bodies of the two standing face to face, I wasn't just trying to talk just to be, just to make some noise when dealing with how when they matched up each other, Teo was bigger than I expected. Teofimo Lopez, like I said with Lomachenko, and part of why Loma had a tough time dealing with him was because Teo was fast enough and strong enough that he was catching Loma with shots that made Loma have to adjust and rethink. Punch for punch. You trade, I make you miss. Or you trade, you launch too far. I'm quick enough to land a reaction before you can get to the angle that you want to get to and land a shot. Or you land two, I land one, big one in response and still press forward. And you feel, even on the gloves, okay, I got to be a little bit more cautious and careful. He was able to do what he did against Zepeda in part because Zepeda has no power. He's got a lot of volume. He ain't got no power like that. He ain't got no power like that. Shakur felt a straight right hand. Yes, the jab knocked him off balance. And you could argue, okay, maybe that should have been a knockdown against Zepeda. Fine. That's perfectly fine. Outside of that one instance, he stayed in the face of Zepeda for the entirety of the fight because he felt the power, and he said, there's nothing for me to worry about. He even got stronger and started just straight up sitting down on his punches in bunches. Because I don't have to worry about trying to make you miss all the time. Yeah, I'm trying to prove a point. Yeah, I'm trying to make it so that y'all can't say I'm a runner. But also, there's nothing for me to worry about with Zepeda. I can sit on the ropes all day long. I can sit here all day long. And there's nothing I need to be concerned with. Because he ain't got nothing to do. He's got nothing that's going to hurt me. Teo ain't going to be like that. Not because Shakur doesn't have a chin, doesn't have durability. I'm not saying that. It's because Teo is a different breed of puncher. Just straight up. Even at 140, though he hasn't been knocking people out in the same way, go watch that Barboza fight. In part of that fight with Barboza, brother, Barboza was not able to move forward like he wanted to. Why? Because he felt the power of the counters and outright punches of Teofimo Lopez and had to go and rethink some decisions, make some business decisions, if we're being completely honest, in how we approach that fight, especially later on. Especially later on in the fight. That's what Shakur's going to have to deal with. It ain't going to be just, oh, you're fast, I'm fast, we're both going to be landing some shots on each other. It's going to be, hey, if I do get caught with something, it's not going to be just something. It's going to have some weight behind it. It's going to have some oomph behind it. It's going to have me starting it. I got to make sure I set myself right. I can't make mistakes. So I got to be very strict with how I operate against this brother. Because he's good and he can crack. And he can throw as much volume as William Zepeda. And he's got a chin. When he ain't dealing with the embolism in his chest, he can take a punch. Can I knock him off balance like Sandor Martin? Sure. Absolutely I can. At the same breath. But if I'm not careful, he can put me out. He can land, one of his best attributes, he can land them punches that you don't see coming. One of the best things about Teo, he is a puncher who is also a great boxer. And one of his best skills, he can land punches where you don't see the punch coming. Disguise what he's going to throw, whether it's with counters or just with the outright sheer speed of what's coming back. All of a sudden, it catches you by surprise. Now you're down. Or now you're out. Or now you're hurt. Or now you got stung and you got to back up a little bit. Readjust, rethink, recalibrate. That's what he can do to you. And that's what he can do to Shakur. Not saying it's going to happen. I'm saying that's what can happen. That's what can happen. That's a real possibility. It's a real possibility. It's a real possibility. Dead serious. And so let me see. Not a power. It's not. No. Yeah. It's a nice jab. Absolutely. Definitely is a nice jab. Let me see. Johnny Blaze, how you doing? Good to see you. Thank you for tuning into the show. The only advantage I see that Shakur has is his distance, keeping it a buck. But that one advantage is an advantage that is enough to beat almost everybody else. Because the defense, again, Max Kellerman said it best. I'm not gonna steal a quote. I'm gonna take what somebody else said and I'm gonna use it. A brother who doesn't want to get hit and knows how not to get hit, again, paraphrase. Buddy who doesn't want to get hit, knows how not to get hit. It's almost impossible to beat. That's Shakur. A brother who is that good defensively and won't take risk is so hard to beat. Even if they're outmatched in other regards, because of the fact that he's putting the ball in your court. You do something about it and force me to do something different. That's where he's gonna try to make Teo play his game. Come and get me since you say I'm too slow. But I'm not gonna be the person that's the aggressor in that regard. Now, in some cases, it can be great. The aggressor against a fighter that is just trying to be too defensive, it can work out great for him. But in this case scenario, Shakur is a different breed from everybody else. If he wants to be that defensive, we saw it against De Los Santos with a broken hand. With a broken hand. With De Los Santos, this brother, without the ability to throw, forced to be defensive. De Los Santos is one of the most explosive punchers and explosive athletic fighters at 135. With his ability to close the gap with that lightning jab because he can step so quick, similar to Conor Benn. If we want to be completely honest, similar to Conor Benn. The brother who was getting ready to fight Keyshawn Davis, and I would have loved to see how Keyshawn dealt with De Los Santos. But regardless of which, I'm not comparing De Los Santos to Teo. I am saying that the same situation, when De Los Santos had the green light to go get him, he couldn't go get him. He couldn't go get him. He tried. He really tried. He really tried. This brother tried and tried and tried. And he couldn't cut off the ring. He couldn't get a step. Every time he tried to get, he actually got to him, he kept getting clinched up. And he kept getting caught with a jab. And one or two jabs, and then he wouldn't be able to go and retaliate in kind because he wasn't able to get to him. There's nothing that De Los Santos was able to do. Yes, he should have cut off the ring. Yes, he should have been more predictive and anticipatory with where Shakur was trying to go. Yes, he should have punched where Shakur was trying to get to. I get that completely. Should have fought out of clinch. I get that completely. But the fact of the matter was he couldn't. And he outmatched Shakur in the same metrics outside of height that we see Teo outmatch him in. If you don't want to get hit and you know how not to get hit, you're not going to get hit. You're not, if you know, when I say you know, if you are a defensive savant and you know that I don't want no problem with what you got bringing to the table in terms of power or offensive ability, guess what? I'm going to fight on the back foot. I'm going to force you to make them. Devin Haney, perfect example. Devin Haney. Devin Haney. We just saw Devin Haney do the exact same thing without being he was the bigger fighter in that fight. Yes, hindsight's 20/20, absolutely. But in terms of the coming into the fight, how did he get that knockout? He made Brian Norman make the mistake by fighting on the back foot, only engaging when he wanted to engage and being ready to get out of dodge whenever he got close. He stayed steady, backing up, stayed steady, backing up, stayed steady. But you see how I'm just drifting away? Kept that same distance, kept that same range, and stayed steady backing away to make sure that this brother And I'm not going unless I want to go. And then he finally went and he knocked him down. And he tried to push the pace for 30 seconds. And then he stopped and went back to the same thing. Make a move. Make a move. Make a move. Make a move. That's why we say Devin Haney and Shakur, they're the same, or they're a similar framework of thinking fighter. They're not the same fighter, but some of their ideologies are the same way. It's not just about being a counterpuncher. It's not just about being an outboxer. We're not going to make the mistake of forcing a move. You know why Devin Haney versus Ryan Garcia was so shocking? Was because with Devin Haney fighting defensively, not wanting to get hit by that power, guess what? He was still getting hit by that power. PEDs or not. But Ryan Garcia was actually setting up stuff to make Devin Haney make the mistake. Throw the right hand, guess what? That wasn't working. So he would change it up, throw the jab, and then turn over a hook right afterwards, anticipating where Devin Haney was going to be defensively at. That's not easy to do. That's not easy to do. And it's not easy for everybody to accomplish, even if you can say that's the goal. And when it comes to Shakur, he ain't got to be more athletic than you. You ain't got to have more power than you. He doesn't got to have all the bells and whistles that come into play with the likes of a Teo or the likes of a Keyshawn Davis or the likes of an Abdullah Mason. He doesn't have to have that. Because the same thing I said with Isaac Cruz applies to every other fighter, including Shakur. When you master one thing, I don't care who you fight, it's hard to beat you when you master that one thing. Because your mastery is above their great. Your mastery is above their caliber of great. Not good, great. Because you get what you can do better than they can get, not just what you can do, but what they can do themselves. It's a different grandeur of understanding, which again is why this fight is so integral, which is why this fight is so exciting, which is why this fight most likely is going to set up the building blocks of who's going to take that next generation and be the man to stand near or at the top of the pound for pound. Or at least take the stand of being one of the 5 biggest faces that this sport has to offer, whoever wins this fight, not just because of the quality, but because after this, guess what's up next? 140, 147, hypothetically 154, with dogs at the division everywhere, with the next generation like Abdullah Mason, like Keyshawn Davis, all also, sooner than later, moving up. With Richard Hitchens, with theoretically, Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney. Now everybody's moving up and getting bigger and getting closer to settling where they're supposed to be. And bigger fights are being more realistically made. And now who's going to be the man to be the golden goose for that weight class diaspora? That's what we're saying. That bubble. That environment, that unique landscape of 135 to 140, maybe even 147, with everybody that we all say needs to fight each other going in and fighting in the same way, it's gonna be pandemonium everywhere. Everywhere.
Hey, look at this.
And who's gonna reign at the top as the man to beat when all of them are chasing? It's not just about titles. Everybody wants one name to claim as their own. Even just as much as the belts, they want to be the guy who beat the guy. That's the thing. That's the thing. That's the thing. Yeah. That's what makes this fight so all-encompassing with excitement and energy. I don't know why they weren't hyped up at the press conference. This is great. This is what we want. This is what we've been asking for. If I can make arguments like this for both fighters, but that means we gotta all-time great caliber fight. It's a class like we haven't seen in a long time. At least it's consistently. It's great. It's beautiful. It's when you go start letting people call in, honestly, I don't even know if I got a phone number to call. I don't even know if I got a phone number to call. I might have to, though. We're going to have to look into it. Maybe that'll be part of the memberships that we're going to try to get put into play. I'm still trying to figure out what I want to have as perks and whatnot. But we might add that into the membership tiers. Once you start actually doing memberships and we grow a little bit more into the whole thing. Right now, we just got to grow right now. That's we just got to grow right now. But in the future, we are going to be looking into that, absolutely. Shakur understands this is the range better than Teo, and I have no problem arguing with it. I have no problem arguing with that at all. Absolutely. I can agree with you. I can agree with you fully. I can agree with you fully. I can agree with you fully. Absolutely. Teo has more to lose fighting someone moving up. That's a good question. That's a good question. That's actually a really good comment. That's a really good comment. Who's got more to lose? Who's got more to lose in this fight? Could you say, I'll make that would be what, Teo's second loss? Would he be second or third? Would he be second or third? Second or third loss? The third. That'll be his third loss. No, I'm sorry. No, that'll be his second. That'll be his second loss. And he would have lost to Shakur. Lost moving up, or to a guy moving up, but it is Shakur Stevenson. But here's the thing. I think there's a bigger drop for Shakur if he loses. But there's a larger hill to climb back to if Teo loses. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? There's a bigger drop for Shakur Stevenson if he loses this fight. But there is a longer hill to climb to if we see Teofimo lose. And it's because Shakur, or rather Teo, will absolutely be, back, not on the back burner. He'll be well and far behind. He's going to take some runs to get some back at the championship level. Top 10 conversation is going to be most likely out the window, at least for the time being. If he loses to Shakur, I get it. There's going to be a whole bunch that he loses in momentum. There's going to be a whole bunch that he loses in momentum. I completely get that, no question. However, with that being the case, Shakur, what he's got to lose right now is all the momentum that he's got. You got to understand, people are putting in Shakur, not just pound for pound, but some people got him in top 5. Some people have it at a fight with Tank we want to see. This man can rule multiple divisions, undisputed. The diaspora, not the diaspora, but the decorum at which we're watching Shakur's name grow is very much built and predicated on this brother's winning. He's successful. We were still saying he's got pillow-fisted hands. Well, not we, but a lot of the public saying he got pillow-fisted hands, boring fighter, all this, that, and the third, similar to Devin Haney. And it was the same thing with Devin Haney if he lost to Brian Norman Jr. But that would have been a nightmare scenario because all the rhetoric and everything that was being put against him as a narrative coming into this fight would have been validated. It would have been validated to a large public eye. And the stock would have fell to the basement for Devin Haney. But because he was winning, even though it was in the manner that people didn't like, that people hated, that I didn't like, guess what? Polarizing figure that could not be denied. It couldn't be denied. Now, when we look at the likes of Shakur, similarly, that same wheel of narrative is turning in his favor. People didn't like the way that he fought. Just had a great breakout performance. It's taking on big tests, sure. People still are unsure if he's going to fight at it consistently. People say that he's boring. People say that he falls asleep. People say they don't like the way that he fights. They don't like how he doesn't go more offensive. He just tries to win the night, not end the night. He's got a lot of stuff going against him that is being overshadowed by his success. But the second he loses, all of that's going to be put at the forefront of vitriol and absolutely big tomatoes getting thrown his way. Don't forget, everybody don't like Shakur. I'm not saying he can't be a likable figure. I'm not saying he ain't somebody that is indeed looked to be, can be enthralling. He can. Sure he can. Sure he can. But he still falls under these similar aspirations and combinations with the Tank fans, combinations with the fight style, combinations with the wider appeal of Shakur as a whole, which, mind you, was being used against Shakur when he was on the ring cards, because people were saying he's going to be part of this running problem. What's it called? Turtle versus Head. What was the Tom and Jerry type of fights? That whole narrative, him and Devin Haney and Shakur were the two faces of that. For what did they deserve? Did they not? If he loses, all of that falls on him. And that's going to be bad. Now, he can climb the hill back to success quicker than Teo. Absolutely. But he will still fall in that way. He'll still fall in that way of it was a bigger drop. It was a huge drop. Y'all forget, Shakur's got a lot of stuff going against him from the public boxing eye. Y'all forget the reason why people want Tank and Shakur to happen is just because of the two best fighters at 135 that were seen in theory, but also because they wanted to see, hey, somebody forced this brother to actually fight. Somebody forced this brother to stop going and just being a quote-unquote runner. That type of identity is what Shakur had on him. Whether you agree with it or not, that's what was being told about him. So he can't lose without taking a bigger hit. And plus, Teo already lost before. And we're not saying that it's gonna be, oh my gosh, his career is done. But we've been there, done that, and comparative to where they are in both their careers right now, you can say that Teo has come back up into not just relevancy, but the star power. Absolutely. You can say that he's turned into a more mature fighter. No question about it. But you can't say, you can confidently say that Shakur is a bigger name. And Shakur, with everything that he's got going for him right now, he's got more to lose. He's got more to lose. He's got more to lose. In fact, right now, if Shakur loses, the amount of people that are going to be calling out Teofimo Lopez's name, understandably so, is going to be going through the roof. But then with Shakur, crickets, most likely, are very much a lot more silence. Not because he isn't a great fighter, but it's going to be because, well, what's the point? There's a bigger fish to fry. Earn your way back up, and he will. He will. He absolutely will. But it's going to be a different level of free fall. It's going to blow a whole lot more wind against the sails of Shakur with the result of this loss. It's going to shock the world. Everybody is going to know that happened. Yes, vice versa. Teo wins, everything's Teo loses. Okay, boom. Yeah, we know what's going to happen. We get that. But I'm telling y'all, with Shakur, it's going to be a whole lot more drastic. Whole lot more drastic. And don't forget, the undefeated record. Though we are in an era where we are growing out of the norm of being able to go and move through the ranks of boxing, where your record is the only thing that matters, and if it goes, you are no mo. We're growing out of that, but we're still in the residue. We're still in the mist. We're still in the vapors of Floyd Mayweather in his ideology of boxing. Well, if you ain't undefeated, you ain't worth nothing but nothing. You ain't worth nothing but a thing. You ain't worth nothing but dirt. I'm going to be real. I'm going to be real. We're still in that. We're still in that. It's gotten a whole lot better between 2023 and now. Thank the Lord. Thank the Lord. Thank gosh. Yes, indeed. But my gosh, we still ain't recovered. That's gonna be what we see come in our midst of another insane, drastic appeal, or rather, drastic lack of appeal, or loss of steam. If Shakur loses that undefeated record, if he does, that thing still holds weight. It still holds weight. And we still in an era where that, even in this different era in boxing, we're still of the old cover of Floyd, where you lose, everybody will write you off. Don't believe me? Everybody was waiting on Devin Haney to lose. If you don't believe me, everybody was waiting on Devin Haney to lose, so they could say, I don't have to care about you anymore. I am not saying that to be hyperbolic. I am saying that in all reality. People were begging, hands and knees, Devin Haney lose this fight, so I don't have to care about you anymore. Because with that loss, you no longer are going to be relevant in a big way. It's a great landscape of the boxing world. That's what a lot of people were thinking. And they were just annoyed with it. They also didn't help that they didn't like him. But the truth of the matter. So, that's why it's going to be bad for Teo if he loses. Don't get me wrong. But it's going to be the avalanche of stoppage. It ain't the fall that hits you. It's when you hit. It ain't the fall that hits you. It's when you stop falling that takes you out. The fall from grace, boy, it's gonna hurt. Telling you, it's gonna hurt. So in my opinion, I think it's a bigger loss for the likes of Shakur, if in fact this happens. Again, for all the reasons I've said, but I still want to make sure I see your thoughts. And if I do apologize. I didn't mean to go on a tangent. I do apologize, but it was a great sentiment of conversation. Good gosh, I tell you, beat that was a great comment. That really was a phenomenal comment. Blame to reading what y'all got to say. Barboza is way bigger than Shakur. He is. I believe he is. I just didn't notice the height discrepancy. Barboza is a big dude. Don't get me wrong. But compared to Shakur, I thought Shakur coming into this fight was going to be at least 8 inches taller, or at least perceived when looking at them standing side by side, and at least decently as wide from a physical standpoint. But when he took his shirt off, all of a sudden, the veins, the cuts, the definition, the athletic oozing ability coming off of Teofimo Lopez, compared it to Shakur, not because Shakur ain't athletic, but just you can clearly see there is a difference there. I didn't realize it was that apparent. Oh boy, makes for a better fight, but my gosh, it makes for an even more interesting question. Let me see, MS, hey brother, what's going on with you? MS8602, what's going on? Glad you're back. Glad to see you're tuning in the show. We appreciate you joining in on the live with us. I do apologize. I'm not trying to go and just be long-winded. It was just such a great conversation point. I could not let it go, and I had to make sure I said something about it so I could be able to go through and give y'all as much of a qualitative show as possible. Hold on. There we go. I keep forgetting. I keep forgetting. I need to make sure I add these super chat goals. It's supposed to be a habit of mine just to make it a reminder. Whether we reach it or not, relevant. I just gotta make sure I put it there so people can see. People can see what we can do. But I appreciate. Look, you saying excellent analysis. Hopefully it's excellent. Hopefully y'all sticking around and y'all loving it. I want to hear your thoughts and opinions. Like I said, I'm not trying to hog the time. I do want to hear you all's words because it's great conversation all around in regards to this fight and others around the boxing world. No question about it, but I do appreciate the love. No question, and it means the world to me. Just you being here, and hopefully you leave a like on the video. Hopefully, if you haven't subscribed, keep on subscribing. Hey, we do this 3 days out the week. Covering the world of boxing, basketball, NBA, all that stuff. We're primarily a boxing channel, but hey, we have fun. We do what we do. And we enjoy entertaining the masses. Hopefully making your work day a little bit better. It is making your day out right a little bit brighter. But let me see what you all got to say. Von Green, how you doing? Good to see you. Thank you for tuning into the show with us on today. It's been so many draws in boxing lately. I wouldn't be surprised if this fight ends up in a draw. And that is a great point, Vaughn. And that's a great sentiment of when people fight quality people on a constant basis, you're going to get more stuff like this. Why? Because a challenge is being met by another challenge. This is indicative of quality matchmaking. My goodness, can you believe it? Can you believe it? Can you believe it? Who would have thought? Who in the world would have thought? Lamar Roach, Eastside Cruz, draw. And shoot, I think we had like four. Shoot, I think we had like 4 other ones, like between this year and last year. Of like fights where, or we've had fights which one Abdullah Mason versus Sam Noakes. Once you could argue that you could have argued that fight could have been a draw. We've had 1-2 round decisions all year in great endeavors where it's like, oh my gosh, this is what it's like when the best fight the best on a consistent basis. It ain't difficult. It's not difficult. It's not difficult. Lamar Roach, Eastside Cruz, Lamar Roach, Tank. Like we've had, though some of them I don't agree with, but a lot of them, like in Billy versus Martinez. But it's work, great work against great work. Majority of the time it's because the fight, this is actually a great level of fight for each other opponent. And it makes sense. My gosh, they keep doing stuff like this. Guess what? We're going to have a competitive division across multiple, we're going to have an incredible boxing scene across multiple different divisions. It's beautiful. It's great. Because the majority, not all, but the majority of the time, it's a draw because both of them are actually evenly matched. At least from the ones that we've seen. So I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at that at all. But let me keep on reading. Tio don't have a Bud Crawford to spot. Now, see, you know what? I gotta give it up for that. I can't lie. I do have to take that into account. Tio ain't got a Bud Crawford to go and train with. Part of the reason why Shakur is so good. Again, but it's, yeah, that's, whatever deficiencies and physical ability that we can say that Shakur has, hey man, if you're dealing with Bud Crawford when you sparring, at least half the time you in the gym, that kind of evens the playing field. Wouldn't you agree? Y'all can't just me saying, just in my humble opinion. But let me keep on reading. Let me see. PJ Banks, how you doing? Good to see you. Thank you for tuning into the show with us today. So happy that you're here joining us on the live. T.O. wins, in your opinion. Yep, that you got T.O. winning. So we got good chunk of people having T.O. winning. Some people having Shakur winning. And like, there's an argument for each, and that's why this is so exciting. Won't be a draw because WBC wants its 3%. Well, you know, hey, look, y'all think I'm playing? If we see WBC get a belt, we see him get a belt, or not get a belt. I'm sorry, not get a belt. We see WBC get a title. Not get it. What? Hold on. Wait a minute. Time out. I'm sorry. I am. Oh, shoot. I'm messing up big time trying to read. Hold on a minute. Wait, I'm trying to say what I'm trying to say. WBC. Don't be surprised if whoever wins this belt don't value the belt in the same way. And we might see somebody of this volition following your footsteps. Shoot, it might be Shakur, with him being on the backs of Terrence Crawford, rather in his corner, being so close and tight-knit with him. Shakur wins this belt, WBC might not get his 3%. Because he might just say, I forget it. I want it. Unless you want to pay, same thing with Crawford. Unless you want me to pay what I say to pay, dropping it. This belt got value because I'm holding it. If I ain't holding it and I want it, guess what? Don't need it. Same cycle of conversation gets even more adamant. And now it's of the next generation, the younger generation of fighters coming through and taking the same system. And that, like I said before, that is very dangerous for all belt commissions. For all belt commissions. That's going to be dangerous. I promise you. I promise you. Promise you. It's going to be a... Good gosh. When I tell you this change is going to affect a litany, and I mean a litany of things across the boxing world when it comes to belts, values, and outright boxer and fighter empowerment. If it doesn't take hold, y'all better watch out. Y'all better watch out. Y'all better watch out, cause boy, it's gonna be something serious. Woo, it's gonna be something serious. It's gonna be something serious. What do you think of Conor Walker? He is he is the buddy went through. He went through. What was it? It wasn't 10 rounds. It was 12 rounds. Yeah, it was 12. Good God. Hold on. Wait a minute. Hold on. Oh, what's going on? Hey, what's going on with my computer? Wait, are we good? Hold on. Hello. Can y'all hear me? Everything just went dark. Wait a minute. Hold on. Wait a minute. Hello? Oh, okay, we're good. Okay, we're back. Thank God. Boy, I had a scare. I thought we were going away. I thought we went into the abyss, never to return. Good gosh. Oh, Lord. Okay, we're back. We're good. Woo, I got scared for a second. I was, good Lord. I'm sorry, I had a flashback. Last time we were on stream, everything just cut out. And it was, we were rolling through, everything just dipped. And I was like, oh gosh, no. Everybody's about to unsubscribe now. But we good. But let me see. Let me read your chat. Come on, man, bring it up. Come on. Do the thing. There we go. Okay. Let me see. Ivan Rhoda, what do you think of Conor? And I think it's actually Conhar. Conha. I kept typing it in wrong, trying to search for the fight. But no. Yeah, against Pat McCormick. Had a 12 round like banger. Real 12 round banger. And got the KO I believe it was in the 12th. Like in the 12th round to see what he do for the win. Yeah, no, he can be a threat. He can be good. He can be really good. It was a great fight. It was a great fight. My gosh. But he put it out and got the KO in the 12th round. And it was like, yeah, no, he can be something. Now, I'm not gonna say he's gonna be like very wait, I'm not gonna say he's gonna be, top 3. I ain't gonna go that far. But it is entertaining. That cat is entertaining. And also, Masad. I told you I was gonna watch some fights that I didn't get to see over the weekend. Masood, excuse me, that you told me to look up. That brother is sharp. That brother is so sharp with his shots. I only wish that he sat down a little bit more on his punches. That's I guess McGrill, because he did hurt him. He did hurt McGrill a couple times actually, and I just wish he would sit down on his shots, because he's so quick with that straight that just comes out. It comes out like pop, comes out like a snake almost, like quick, or like a viper strike. But I'm telling you, boy, he puts a little bit more leather behind that. That counter window can become a knockout opportunity consistently. It really can. It really can. It really can. And and again, I believe it was McGrill that he was fighting. If I'm saying his name wrong, excuse me, but I believe it was McGrill that was fighting against over the weekend that I got to see the fight. And that buddy, he's good. He's good. I like him. I like him a lot. Cause he's got similar things I've talked about with other fighters. Where he's very much calm inside the ring, and he's so, at least with his counter strike, instinctive. Especially with them straight shots, man. I love it. And he can dog out a little bit too if need be. So now he's made a fan out of me. And who was the other buddy? There was another woman. What was her name? Tehran? Was it Elif Tehran? That's who it was. Elif Tehran. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. I was trying to think of that. Elif Tehran. Yeah. She a little bit reckless, but she can. Oh, but she put. What was it? 3 knockdowns. 3 knockdowns in that fight in like the first 3 rounds. First knockdown, I forget how many rounds it was, but it was quick. And that first knockdown, I thought it was okay. It was an off-balance shot. But she caught her again behind the head. That woman almost went slump to the mat. I was surprised she got up. I thought she was out after that second overhand right. But then when she L5 put her on the pressure and she started walking forward, boy, when she got was it Fernandez? I think her name was Fernandez. In the corner, shoot, looked like Deontay Wilder in there. That woman started wailing away. I mean, just sweeping shots. Forget technique. Just straight up outright raw slugging power. And caught her with the hook that in the midst of an exchange from the opponent, caught her opponent flush, and then she went slump. She went slump. She got up, but boy, she was off balance, and the fight should have been stopped because that was about to be bad. That's exciting to watch. Like, she put herself on the map with that. She put herself on the map with that fight. That fight, she put herself on the map. That drew a lot of interest, a lot of intrigue. And she's a long fighter for the division. She uses her length as leverage very well. Very well. I love that. Wish she would put her hands up a little bit more defensively. I do wish that. I wish that. I wish she put her hands up a little bit more when she's trying when somebody is closing the gap. But beyond that, she's exciting. You're right. That woman she got some real power. She got some serious power. But let me see. Okay, let me keep on reading. Beats. Okay, hear me. Okay, yeah. So you can hear me. Thank goodness. Jay Prince managed other fighter Shakur. Shakur gonna pay. Most like I can just a hypothetical with Shakur Stevenson. Also, real quick, we touched on this earlier in terms of Shakur and conversations involving Shakur Stevenson. We did where is it? Keyshawn Davis and Richardson Hitchens was another instance in fights that I did want to go and discuss really quickly. Where's it? Oh, yeah, and speaking of which, also, if you didn't know, Keyshawn Davis dropped Bomac as a trainer. Well, no, I'm not clapping for that. I don't know who in the world he's going to bring in, and I believe this is a clip that will show you his words, what he did. Where is it at? No, stop. Come on, do it. There we go.
We got a whole new.
What is some of the things that you're doing?
Some of these tabs for the past couple of days trying to make sure I actually
what is some of the things that you're doing?
Where's the sound to get this? Yeah, his words himself from Keyshawn Davis. Apparently, he's dropped Bowman.
What is some of the things that you're doing to get yourself ready for 2026 in terms of like training aside from sparring with some people?
Right, that's a great question. I changed my entire team. Everybody that I used to work with, I don't work with anymore. Everything is different. As far as I had to do a whole freaking circle check at the June, and everybody got deleted. So what I do different, everybody got deleted except for DB3. You know what I'm saying? Now we got a whole new team. We got a whole new system. You know what I'm saying? Only thing that changed was God. Only thing that stayed same was God. Like, God stayed the same. Everything else changed. You know what I'm saying? And June was a big.
What is
So, like, this is in regards to the whole changing of the recentering of himself that we're seeing from Keyshawn Davis, which again I love the fact, after the whole fight the whole fight situation was all bright and whatnot, everything, the whole problem circumstance, losing the title, coming in overweight, everything going awry. I get it. It could make adjustments. Found God, did everything correctly, trying to get his life together, or looking like he got his life together. Perfectly fine. I applaud that. We always want people to get better in themselves. But at the same breath, just like the caption says, you miss weight and then you drop your head trainer. I don't know if Bomac, who I believe was his trainer, being dropped is the best move of trying to clean out your circle where everybody's got to leave. Now, unless there's something I don't know from how he's from the inner workings of what was going on with the likes of whatever was going on with Camp and them. Maybe something had to go. I don't know. I'm not going to read into that. What I am going to read into, brother, you have been looking to be in a potential situation where, just like you see on the title on my screen, you and Richard and the Hitchens have been jawing at each other, looking like you might get it on down the line. As you can see right here in the old picture-in-picture, and I'll show it to you right now. If you're reading or if you're listening, and you can't really see the screen, I'm going to bleep you up. That's personal. I'm not playing. This is Keyshawn Davis in response to Richard and Hitchens. Hitchens said, I promise on my life you ain't bleeping me up. Let's do it. Let's do it. They also had an exchange with each other in the press conference of TL versus Shakur, where they were jawing at each other, getting in each other's face, essentially trying to say, hey, somehow both of them saying, when Shakur was rooting in my corner, I did this to you. And when Shakur was rooting in my corner, I did this to you. So it's like somebody said they were trying to vie for the respect of Shakur, which is, ain't that supposed to be the buddy y'all trying to get to eventually? Well, no, actually, no. Take it back. The kind of pact that they made together that they ain't gonna fight. Either way, perfectly fine. Regardless of which, these two are looking to get it on with each other potentially next year. If that's the case, hey, I don't think if you're Keyshawn Davis, especially after missing weight and with everything going awry with you at the end of the last time you were in the ring, you should not be in this position where you're overhauling to the point where stuff was working. Seriously, stuff was working. Stuff was working. And with you call a spade. You made the mistake. You were the one that tripped up on your own discipline. You were the one that went in the back and went and fought Albright, who beat your brother, or it started a exchange that ended in a big old fight. You did all of that. Nobody else involved in your team. And it seemed like the team that you were around with Bomac and everybody else seemed to be working in your favor, making you a better fighter. You had knocked out, was it Lemos? Who came in 168 in 2 rounds with the style that you were fighting with Bomac. It fit you perfectly. I don't know who's going to be able to train you to bring that out of you, because your style and Bomac's teachings work perfectly. It worked perfect from my perspective. I don't want it to be a situation where you go to somebody else and now you're different. Who's going to bring Derrick James? With all due respect, over the past 2 years, he ain't had a great record, has he? With all due respect, I don't think that fighting style is going to help you be effective and maximize what you were maximizing when you were fighting against the likes of Lemos, Berinchik, winning belts and looking like you were about to conquer the world. This ain't the best move, in my opinion, because this ain't the move that's going to get you where at least for me, get you where I think you need to be. It's gonna be dangerous. It's gonna be sketchy. It's gonna be sketchy. It's very. Where's it? I thought I had the title card up there. It's gonna be sketchy because if this is the matchup that you want to have, I may think you can beat Keisha. I think you can beat Richard Hitchens now. Yeah, but depending on what you look like with a new trainer, depending on what you look like with a new liaison coming through and telling you what to do, that doesn't put you in the best light. Hey man, you can lose real quick. Lose real quick. You know, that momentum that you've been downtrodden can go even worse. There's some things that you don't need to let go. There are some things that you do. It's great to reevaluate, but there is also a sentiment where sometimes, hey, the best thing for you might not be the thing, or rather, excuse me, some situations, when you're cleaning house, some stuff does need to stay. There are some essential things that you need to be sure you can be the best you, even when you're trying to release everything else. And in this situation, Bomac might be one of them. Might. Now, we're going to find out. We're going to find out. I'm not going to say anything's concrete. I'm not going to say he's going to lose. I'm not saying it's going to be a bump. I'm not saying it's going to be horrible. I'm not going to say everything is out of pasture for anybody of Keyshawn's, or for anybody, for Keyshawn to be able to succeed with anybody else. I'm not going to say that. But I'm going to say that some stuff ain't meant to be left behind in this case scenario. And Bomac might be one. So I hope he ain't making a mistake, but he might be. If he is, oh no, could be dangerous. Let me see. She can still get better. She young in regards to Elfie Turhan. Again, great fighter. Keyshawn let the hype get to him. I don't even think the hype got to him. He just made decisions that the hype was just getting started with him. Like he made a decision where the hype was just getting started. He was in the same position, if not in an even more dominant spotlight than Abdullah Mason when he finally got his chance at a title. It was more dominant. It was more highly anticipated. Not because Abdullah ain't up there. But the conversation we were having with Keyshawn was, hey man, you, Shakur, and Tank, we could see you give any of them a tough time. You get a title, you're in that vein, where you can go get him. All right, here we go. A lot more hype, a lot more anticipatory. But he hadn't blown up, but it was building. With that fight with De Los Santos, if he had won, would have been the thing that the volcanic eruption. He cost himself. And it's a shame. I'm glad he's coming back. I'm glad he's moving through, but boy, it's I don't want him to make the wrong mistakes in pushing himself to be better by taking out the thing that would have maximized what his ability can be, which in this case is Bomac. I don't think that's the right decision. Just me. I don't think that's the right decision. And also, with you apparently saying that reportedly at 140, Keyshawn is insinuating he's not going to be there for long. Okay, 147, you're moving up, all that stuff perfectly fine. All the more reason why, if you're trying to already transition quick out of a division that you just grew into because you were overweight for the other division, well, guess what? Maybe you don't need to be going against the grain of things that works in your camp. When you're trying to make these big, lofty goals to get to the likes of, okay, I'm looking to fight Devin Haney. I'm looking to fight Brian Norman. I'm looking to fight Ryan Garcia. We're trying to get to those types of steps if we do want to get there. Maybe it ain't the best move really to go and do what you're doing. At least to me. At least to me. And so it's a shame. Let me see. What was it? Is it Althea Sweeting? How you doing? Good to see you. Thank you for tuning into the show. We're so happy that you're here with us on today. I believe if I'm saying your name incorrectly, I do apologize. Hopefully I said it right. We appreciate you tuning in. We appreciate you coming in on the show. If you haven't already, leave a like on the video. Yes, indeed. Come on and subscribe if you haven't already. Be a part of the Empire. And if you want to support the channel, like I said, we got Cash App and PayPal. Links down below in the description if you'd like to come and support. Would mean the world to me. We also got super chats, gifts, and all that stuff. If you want to make sure your stuff is ready, hey, feel free to, send some money my way as well. Just, give some alms and give some support to this growing community, because this is how I pay the bills. I'm not going to lie. I'm not gonna lie. This is how I pay the bills. So, lend a helping hand if you could, and help us to invest back into the show to make it bigger and better and stronger, all for your viewing and listening pleasure. Let me see if ITO, if he do Loma. ITO, if he do Loma. Assuming you're saying I pick Tio, if he does a Lomachenko and fights like, if he does that, hey, as I've been saying all the time, he can get up to that caliber. And it's going to be phenomenal. It's going to be incredible. Let me see. We have a card tonight and tomorrow. Good gosh, y'all got a card tonight. Is this over in the UK? Y'all got a card tonight and tomorrow? Shoot. I knew about the unless that ain't the Pacheco fight, is it? No. The Pacheco fight is Saturday. It is Saturday, right? Hold up a minute. Let me. Hold on. Wait a minute. Hold on. Wait a minute. Wait a second. Wait 1 minute. Let's make sure we got some stuff going to do right now. Am I unaware? I might be in the. Oh. Huh. Well. Huh. That's interesting. I'm sorry. We just got some news. 30 minutes ago. Nick Ball's about to fight Brandon Figueroa. Officially Nick Ball's going to fight Brandon Figueroa for the title February 7th. So we finally got a date. Sorry, we've been looking for when that date's going to happen. I didn't expect the announcement to happen, this month. I was going to happen next month. But hey, it's here. Still needs to fight Espinoza. Still needs to fight Angelo Lee. Still needs to fight the rest of 126. Shoot, at this point, I'd take him going back down to 126, or I'd take Stephen Fulton fighting him at 126 just to take his belt off him, since we now know Stephen Fulton, at 130, ain't got no business being up there. But Brandon Figueroa, don't really think that should be the fight that should take place. But hey, it's happening regardless of which. Just got that news. So we just trying to trying to keep us up to date as possible when it comes to all the things happening in the boxing realm, as we're striving to still do so much more in regards to being dominant and achieving greatness as a whole. But even still, real quick, I do want to make sure that we covered everything else on this show. There was one more thing I wanted to cover as a big topic of discussion before we go and transition into the championship rounds of this sport. What was it? It was something. If I can't remember, we're gonna go straight into championship rounds, and we ain't gonna bother with doing it. Oh, I remember now. I remember what it was. It was another one of the clips of Teofimo, Lopez, and Shakur Stevenson. That's what I was trying to do. One of the other clips of Teofimo and Shakur, in regards to his response of why Shakur, Keyshawn won't fight each other, even though Kim and Tio are going to fight, questioning and pressing him on what exactly is the holdup of their fight. Because even though they're friends, in Tio's argument, that ain't what boxing's supposed to be about, in his words. But I'll let him say the rhetoric on his own. Yeah, we'll play the clip right here.
You had opportunities to be
Why
the
are we
best
talking about anybody else? It's me
You
and
had
you.
the opportunity to be the best at 135.
Okay.
You ain't tend to do that because you got
How?
brothers.
My brothers, hold on, let's understand what you're saying. Keyshawn had one fight where he got the belt, right? Right?
At 35.
Yes.
Okay.
After that fight, he had.
But you get what I'm saying,
How long
right?
did he have a belt for? No, you saying that I'm not fighting the best. I will fight anybody. But I'm just saying.
But not your brothers.
No, I'm not fighting somebody that I came up with.
And this is.
Somebody I really been with. Like on some real trenches, me and this person. I'm not. There ain't no money in the world that's going to make me do that, bro.
All right, so like let's say that was
But
the
I will
case,
fight
right?
you.
Let's say that was the case. And
You the guy.
Y'all ain't going to see no unifications at 40 if he tries to take mine. Because he buddy with.
Ain't you going to beat me?
But I'm saying.
Ain't you going to beat me?
I'm saying it.
That's what we
This
here.
I'm saying.
If you going to beat me,
no,
what are
I
we
know what
talking
I'm
about?
going to do. I know what I'm going to do.
So you going to erase my name?
I know what I'm going to do.
This 140.
Basically, what I'm trying to let you know is that boxing ain't going to allow it.
But how boxing not going to allow it?
It won't.
How?
Because now you facing me.
Oh shit! I'm so scared. Tio, I'm frightened. I'm scared for my life. I'm facing you. Ooh. That shit don't move me, bro. I can't wait to see you. I've been waiting on this. Yo, I don't know how you don't understand. I've been waiting on this moment forever. Like, it's been years and years for this moment right here. You gave me the opportunity. I appreciate you for that. But shit come with it. Facts.
I played this because it brought up a good conversation that somebody else had brought up earlier. I mean, early in the chat, and we going throughout the show. I wasn't trying to avoid it. I was trying to get to it and build up to it. But we had so much stuff that we were trying to cover. But it was Justin. I'm sorry, it was Justin that said it. Here we go. It was Justin that said it earlier in the show. I see kind of what T was saying. I think. Well, no, that's not it. That's not the chat. It was another one. It was what the world was it? There we go. No, it was Allo J. That's who said it. It was Allo J that said it. Fair point. A lot of people that I've seen said that Tio said a good point about Shakur won't fight his brothers, Keyshawn, etc., for the belts. And we touched on this in the past. And as you heard in the clip, Shakur said he ain't gonna fight Keyshawn when he was brothers at the divisions. And that's why he didn't fight at 135, which I said I respect. And I'm not going to speak against it because that's what they said that they did. And the reasoning why, hey, understandable, but in actuality, from Tio's perspective, though Shakur, I'm not going to say he's right or wrong because I understand why he's doing what he's doing. Tio is right in the regards of, hey man, you did say you were going to be the best. And when one of your people got the thing that you need, you said, I'm not going to do it. Y'all ain't even blood related. You ain't even got the real brothers, blood on blood type of sentiment. And so from Tio's perspective, hey buddy, you had business to handle and you didn't. And if you do win this build at 140, hypothetically, because Tio doesn't think he's going to beat him, but if he does, and Keyshawn gets up here, he's already here, and he beats Hitchens, hypothetically, and they get a fight for a title, and he gets the belt, you're not going to unify. We're never going to get a unification. And the question comes, are you going to get, if Keyshawn says, hey, I do want to go for your title, let's fight each other. We still brothers, but this will be a great thing, great money and all that stuff, and you won't let him do it? If that happens, what happens if it's vice versa? And you actually do want the belts, but because of that pact that y'all made, all of a sudden now Keyshawn's like, no, that ain't what we're doing. At what point does legacy mean, or at what point does the end goal ultimately become the goal over all the other goals? Is what Tio was trying to say. And it's not a bad point. Again, this is not me trying to neglect the understood and reasonable sentiments of why Shakur isn't going to fight Keyshawn Davis. But this is also a problem that we discussed when we were talking about this upwards of a year ago with Keyshawn, or almost a year ago with Keyshawn and Shakur. Hey, brother, at some point in time, y'all are going to cross. And we as fans would want to see that fight. And you and your greatness, both of you all, are going to be in a situation where somebody's going to have to choose. Now, if nobody does anything, okay, fine, but it will hurt both of you all. And you would, in the eyes of the public, go against what you were trying to say. Like I said, I understand completely why Shakur isn't fighting Keyshawn Davis. Brothers brought him up from dark place, came up in boxing together, helped Keyshawn Davis go through a very dark time in his life. I think he almost committed suicide, and Shakur helped him through to bring him into a newfound level of life. Beautiful, phenomenal, absolutely. But sadly, with this sport is unforgiving. This sport, and outside of the Klitschko brothers, it's been whatever's going to happen is going to happen. When work's got to be done, work has to be done. And it can even become to a situation where we see that when T.O. says boxing won't let it happen, the sport, if it's lucrative enough, they'll find a way to get what they want. And by that I mean if you're a champ and you don't want to fight Keyshawn and Keyshawn's number one contender, you ain't Canelo. You ain't even Terrence Crawford, and you saw what they doing to him. Guess what? You getting stripped. Straight. You getting stripped. Are you going to feel some type of way? If Keyshawn accepts the belt because you got stripped, because you wouldn't fight him, you going to be happy for him? When he starts saying, I'm the best in the world, I'm the man in this division, I got the titles, I'm unified champ, I got both belts. What you got in terms of all of his other opponents? And Shakur, if he's still at 140, he's going to be like, hold on, wait. This brother, he talking a whole lot of stuff. But he didn't beat me in the ring. He only got that belt because of me. Are you going to start feeling some type of way? I'm not trying to draw animosity or draw some bad blood. I'm trying to paint a real picture of what can happen. What we've seen when friends become enemies. When the sport does what the sport does, which is naturally get you into a mode, I got to prove something. I got to shut somebody up, even if it's somebody that I respect. I got to do what I got to do. There's money to be made, there's business to be had, and like we've seen countless times, you've been talking reckless. A lot of times that's what that's what it boils down to. You talk reckless and now you worth my time. Yeah, I'm gonna take you out. That's what we could see ultimately take place. Because again, it's getting closer and closer situations where those types of bonds are gonna be tested. Keyshawn and Shakur, both of them were coming up, still growing, still becoming phenomenal fighters. But now Shakur is on the stage, or the second big stage of his career, against what would be the biggest fight of his career. He's about to reach a zenith. And Keyshawn Davis is potentially 2 fights away from being able to be right there with him, if not with the title. And then it's going to be, hey, there's going to be a situation where at some point in time, potentially sooner rather than later, we get some smoke that starts to fume between the two from the standpoint of just the sheer vicinity. Causes a natural uncomfortability. What you going to do? What we going to do? What are we going to do? Fans are going to call for it. Pundits are going to call for it. Peers are going to call for it. And don't let somebody else start calling for it too on one side or the other. Don't let somebody, I guarantee you, all that's going to break apart. I hope it doesn't. If they're going to stick to this, fine. But all of that rhetoric of I'm not going to fight you, my brother, it's going to break apart the second somebody insinuates a slight at the other, even if it's indirect. I'm the man in this division. Can't nobody else touch me. Something like that. When both of y'all got belts, hypothetically, it's going to be like that. Watch. It's going to be like that. It's going to be a bet. It's going to start crumbling. Subtle shots at each other. Next thing you know, builds up into a whole thing, and now we ain't brothers no more. I don't want that to be the case, but I'm saying that's what can happen. Because this sport will force itself to do what it wants to do when it wants to do it. When it doesn't, it'll lollygag all day long. But sometimes it will do what needs to be done. And don't forget about the X Factor. Don't forget about the X Factor of Turkey Al Sheik. Also, good gosh. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. My bad. I apologize. I'm just rewatching. I'm rewatching the Inside the Ring thing while I'm talking. And I just got the injuries of what Sin Cara got against Jaya Patai. I knew he got injured. I didn't realize it was a fractured vertebrae and a brain bleed. I knew the brain bleed. I didn't know about the fractured vertebrae. Oh shoot! I didn't know. I knew the knockout was knockout of the year. Where I didn't know it was that bad. Oh my gosh! I did not know that. I'm sorry. It shocked me for a second. I didn't realize that the damage was that bad. Though I knew the brain bleed and the going to the hospital. I didn't know he had a fractured vertebrae also from that KO. Oh shoot. Oh my gosh. But Jaya Patai is a monster. That butt is a monster. Oh shoot. But again, I digress. Back to the comment at hand. We don't know if we're gonna see that pact between the two actually stay for as long as it can be. Because though I hope it does, if they're going to stick to it, all it takes is for somebody, both of them, with no disrespect, both of them can get in their feelings really quick. As we've seen, both of them can. And I guarantee you, it's only going to take one. It's only going to take one slip of the tongue to start a potential avalanche. Where it's going to have to happen. Or even Turkey Al Sheik could make it so that, hey, he got big plans for both of them. And a big payday after this fight. Guess what? Afterwards, depending on who wins, who knows what he's got in store for him. And if, in fact, Keyshawn is getting that mix, I guarantee you, if it's worth making, he'll push for it. Blood ties or not, he'll throw a bag to where it's going to be too much to ignore. What you going to do then? I'm not trying to say push them into breaking their pact. I'm saying this sport is going to test them. And I'm interested to see if the same type of rhetoric from Shakur and Keyshawn Davis is going to still be consistent once the star power on both ends starts turning into a black hole. Can you withstand the strain, or rather the pull, of what's going to happen between you all two to fight each other? Or will something take place that is going to snap what you thought was an unbreakable bond? Hypothetical. The only people I've seen do that is the Klitschko brothers not fight each other when they were both champs. That's the only people. Outside of that, it's always been, I don't care how good you may think you are, we're good friends. We're going to fight. Joseph Parker's great friends with a whole lot of boxers. Guess what? He still puts them out. He still knocks them out. So I don't know. I just don't know. I just don't know. That's the interesting thing. Let me see. We got Alexander Gourmat, Raham Hassini. That card's okay. Kavat. Oh, Kavat is also on that card. Oh, Kavat. Kavat's on the card. I didn't know Kavat was on the card tonight. Okay, so we do got a lot of boxing coming up. Let me see. I think it's Gutterich. Is it Gutterich? No, Gutterich. Gutterich, what's going on? Gutterich, that's what it is. Gutterich, what's going on? How you doing? Good to see you. Thank you for tuning into the show with us today. Whoever thinks Shakur losing doesn't know boxing. Like I said, we're talking about a conversation. Now, if you think Shakur is losing, no, it's not that you don't know boxing. This is indeed a 50-50. Be clear. We are not trying to say, in fact, this is a great point in time. Now that we covered all the big stuff, we can go into the championship rounds right here, right now. So, ladies and gentlemen, you try to get your popcorn ready, get your questions together. We got 30 minutes to potentially an hour to go through and see what you got to say on today in regards to everything involving the world of boxing, sports, NBA, NFL, video games, movies, sports, television, all that stuff. To talk about it and be about it and see what you got to say on today. Again, if you want to support the channel, Cash App, PayPal, links down below in the description. Also, we got super chats and gifts and all that stuff if you want to give a support to the channel. Would mean the world to me. Would help me out oh so much. If you can, would appreciate it. Absolutely. But just leave a like. Keep on sharing the show and keep on listening, keep on tuning in. We're going to have a phenomenal time, and I believe everybody's going to love to see what we got on the hottest show in all of the globe right here on YouTube and on every podcasting platform imaginable. But also, I digress as we continue forward. If you think Shakur is going to lose, it's not because you don't know boxing. It's because it's a real fight. It's a real fight. It's a real fight. This ain't just some ho-hum type of deal. Brother, this is legit. Teo has the goods to beat Shakur. And I love Shakur. I'm not saying he's going to win. I'm not saying Teo's going to win, but I'm saying this is the worst or this is the toughest test Shakur has faced, both athletically and on a talent level in his career. But Teo has faced up against people that are of the caliber of a Shakur Stevenson. Will that experience take hold? I don't know. But just know, it is indeed a reality that Shakur could be in the fight of his life, hypothetically. Also, Al Booga, how you doing? Good to see you. Thank you for tuning into the show. We're so happy that you're here with us on the day, on this Thursday afternoon. We appreciate you coming in and joining in on the ride. They both said they're not fighting each other. It's like the Manny Vitali and Vladimir back in the days. And you're right. You're absolutely right. Again, I'm not denying that. It is what it is. I'm not denying that. I am just saying this landscape in boxing now is different from that landscape in boxing with Klitschko and Vitali. There's money. Again, I'm not trying to push the fight to happen. I'm trying to give you a perspective of why this is more straining on whether or not it's going to happen or not. There's more money to be made. The open window of not just success, but of outright where you can get to in the ranks of pound for pound in the next generation is there for the taking of you being in that tier, in that caliber. And it's going to most likely lead through Shakur at some point if Keyshawn wants to get that type of rhetoric. If he wants to get that type, if he wants to get to where Shakur is from a star power level, it's almost assured at some point in time, he's going to have to either say, I get an opportunity to fight Shakur and I'm going to just move on, or I can't pass this up, or somebody gets slighted. One of the three is going to happen. Whatever decision he makes is what he makes. But it's a different environment. It's a lot more volatile nature of what you have to think about on the decision. And don't take much for that pack to be broken. All somebody got to do is say the wrong thing in an interview. Say the wrong thing on a hot mic. Say the wrong thing behind closed doors that gets leaked. That's it. One grudge. One tweet. One post on Instagram. One thing can go through. And we've seen it. We've seen just a slight of conversation or a slight of a picture, an image, a video, a clip. Started insane rivalry. I hate you. I hate you. When we thought y'all were cool with each other, and we've seen it. It can happen. It can happen. It can happen so quick. It can happen so quick. Quick as lightning, man. I'm telling you. It can happen so quick. So I'm not saying it's gonna happen. I'm just saying it is there. And who can stand up to it? Who can stand up to that against wind? Who can stand up to that adjacent wind that's gonna push you to fall? And what's it gonna take to fall? We've seen people fall for less. So I can't say for certain if it's gonna stick. If it does, great. But if it doesn't, guarantee you, they'll drop that real quick. Let me see, great time to be a boxing fan. Yes, they will. Upsets happening in boxing. That means that there's good matchmaking. No question about it. People may like it. Does not happen. A lot of people think Tio is a bum who is going to not test your core. I don't know why. See, and that's why I was saying that the losses for the impact of each is going to be different. Tio is being underestimated from a mental perspective, and Shakur is reaching the ceilings of what he is getting elevated quickly to the ceiling of what his stock is as a fighter. It's just the truth. It's Shakur who seems impregnable with his defense, and it's Tio who seems like an overhyped hype job or a overhyped showcase. It ain't the case. Shakur is as good as he is, but Tio is also, he is not somebody that's overhyped. He ain't. Y'all better, if he beats him easy, it's a testament to how good Shakur is, but Tio is not easy in any way. And we've known this because we've seen him before. When Tio and Shakur were at 135, guess who was better? Teofimo Lopez. We were saying at his best, he was a top 10 fighter. Above the likes of Shakur Stevenson. Nearly this entire time, up until recent years. But of that whole stint, it was him. It was Tio. When he was on his game, it was Tio that everybody was saying is one of the better fighters in the world. Shakur is in that conversation as well and was building up. But it's been more relatively recent that we've seen Shakur get this level of hype and animosity or hype and pomp and circumstance. Deservedly so. He deserves it. He deserves it. But Tio has been in this situation of best in the world, not just for a longer period of conversation, but on multiple times has proved and earned his spot into that ranking. He is not easy. And he's beaten pound for pound level talent across the board. That was irrefutable. He did it. When he's on, that's what he can do. That is not somebody you should take lightly if you're a fan of Shakur Stevenson. You shouldn't. You know you shouldn't. Being a fanboy, fangirl, and loving your favorite fighter, I am all for. Be clear. I love it. I'm a fanboy of Inoue. No question. Love watching Inoue fight. That's my favorite fighter right now. No question. I have no qualms in saying it. Love watching Inoue fight. Love watching Usyk fight. Love watching Javon Boots Ennis fight. I love them all. Junta Nakatani. I'm a fan of a lot of fighters. Whole lot. Isaac Cruz. Fanboy him. But don't let that, I feel you on that regard, but don't let that overstate the understood danger that's coming your way with a fighter like Teofimo Lopez. This is not just some fluke game. You beating him easy would show you how good Shakur is, which will be better than I expected, better than even you expected. Yes, you behind the screen or in your car, wherever you were. He would be better than what you expected. And you see him as one of the best in the world, and he is. But again, I'm telling you, that would be so spectacular because of how good Tio is in reality. It would. I'm telling you it would. So do not take this butter lightly. Do not take this butter lightly because it will be bad. I think Shakur maybe not saying for sure is scared of Keyshawn. I'm not saying that. I wouldn't say that. No, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that. I do believe it is because they are brothers in arms. I have no problem with that. I just know that sooner rather than later, that bond is going to get tested, especially if Keyshawn wins a title and Turkey tries to get that fight with Keyshawn Davis and Shakur to unify at 140. If Shakur wins, it's going to be tested. It's going to be tested a lot because most likely they're going to be in the vicinity of each other. And if Keyshawn lives up to his own standards, they both going to be in a position where, hey, y'all are two of some of the 4 or 3 best fighters in your division. So fans are going to want to answer, and I guarantee you will as well. What's going to be the deal? I don't think he's scared. I really don't believe he's scared. But I do know that there is going to be pushback, a bending of that bar of rigid promise to each other. And that bar might be more fragile than you think, not because both of them aren't strong with each other, but because boxing always finds a way to test you in ways that you didn't expect. It always, behind the scenes and in the ring. Even the ways that Shakur and Keyshawn, though they may have seen everything under the sun, they may not have experienced that type of stress yet. From the sport as a whole, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't. Which is why I got to put this as a T.O. had a point. What's going to happen when you get to that dichotomy? If you had to fight him for best in the world, would you or would you not? If you had to fight him for undisputed, would you or would you not? When you put in that perspective. At what point will boxing push you to where the legacy over saturates the promise? And if you're strong enough to stand firm, do it. But if you're not, then what's that breaking point? That's where the concern is. That's why a lot of people looking at what they said is like, I don't know if it's going to last. Because it ain't, normally it don't. Normally it don't. Also, yes, please, as Bunko says, hit the like button. Please do. Please do. Like I said, we are in the championship rounds. We are indeed going through and having ourselves a time. We still want to hear your thoughts on everything involving the world of boxing and beyond. And I want to hear, and we're still having a great conversation on anything involving the sport, not just with the topics at hand. Whatever you want to ask me about, we got the lab with 15 minutes. 15 minutes? I think we already did like 15 or 30 minutes. We can tack on some more. Your time to shine. As long as you go, we can make the show go even longer and even better. All with you, viewing with you and your interactions. But you all drive how long this last segment of the show goes. So let's see what y'all got. Let me see. What if T.O. makes Shakur easy? Wonder was, well, if T.O. makes Shakur work easy, then he's probably top 7, top 6. And it's going to be a lot of people going to get shut up. And it's going to be a situation where people going to be like, you know what? We should have known. They're going to be shocked. They're going to reevaluate what Shakur is as a fighter. They're going to have to completely turn on his head. But how good is T.O.? If he's beating Lomachenko, Josh Taylor, and Shakur Stevenson with ease, and with Shakur hypothetically being with ease, what's going to happen then? It's going to be like, yo, who can't this brother beat? We're going to start having that type of conversation. Because of who he beat then with Shakur would be like, brother, I don't know who else outthinks him in the sport, not even Devin Haney. And I think Shakur's a better fighter than Devin Haney. So 147, hey, it's achievable. We're gonna start having some Boots conversations. Can he fight Boots at 154 if he ever gets up there, if he so chooses, and if his body can't withstand it? These are going to be the types of conversations. No matter how lofty they may be, it's going to be in the vicinity of reality for a lot of people, because you beating Shakur means that you can beat most of the other world. I guarantee you. It's gonna be, they're gonna be saying a lot. Let me see. Johnny Blaze, most boxing fans are negative. Nancy's don't understand. It's a high level fight. Just gonna say Shakur because he's the favorite. But he never fought someone as good as Teal. And I agree. I agree. I agree. I agree. And mind you, a lot of people are only recent, what you done for me lately is what everybody remembers. Looking at the longevity doesn't always stick out the same unless you're, again, of the big caliber of fighters. Normally, it's what you've done in the recent to be able to drive the thought process of boxing. So, not with anybody here. Like I said, all of y'all are here, incredibly smart, incredibly insightful. Y'all are the best community in boxing, best community on YouTube, period, in all of the sports world. No question about it. Because, again, you smart because you tuning in to the greatest show on earth right here, right here, whether watching for. But like for many, it is the last thing that you did is the last thing that we remember. People don't remember the Barboza fight with Teo, even though it was the best fight of the night. They remember the whole card was bad. And we don't want to remember that. They don't remember Lomachenko losing or winning against, they don't remember Teo losing or winning to Lomachenko. They remember Teo losing to Kambosos as the biggest thing about why Teo can't do anything. Regardless of context, regardless of anything. They still harp on Shakur for the fight with De Los Santos, and Shakur legit had a broken hand in that fight and couldn't throw his shots. But it doesn't matter because how he looked was bad. Understandable. Now, there are aspects that you can take from each of those fights as to say, hey, that is a problem. But without context, it just seems like that's the fight itself. Doesn't tell the whole story. Nor does it give you the correct insight. For a lot of people, it doesn't matter. It's just the basic stuff, what you done for me lately. And I get it. I understand it. I'm not going to knock the perspective, but I am going to add more to it, hopefully to help you learn and paint a better picture. Hopefully, to give you a different viewpoint, different angle to what you're viewing and witnessing. Hopefully, I'm doing that in a good way. If I'm not, hey, don't matter. Pay me some money. Don't care. No, I don't care. I'm just trying. I'm kidding. I'm messing. I'm kidding. Just being funny. But no, seriously. Hopefully that's what we're able to do with the sport as we're talking through it. At least just with my perspective anyway. Vice versa, if Teo makes it easy, people should not take away from his win. They shouldn't. They better not. They better not. People will discredit Teo's wins when he makes it easy. They can't with Shakur. They can't. They literally can't with Shakur. I don't know what they could take away from him. What you gonna say? Shakur was never a puncher? Well, you weren't saying that beforehand, and we were still saying you couldn't beat him. So what the world? Oh, he's too conservative? You knew he was the best defensive fighter in the game. What do you mean he's too conservative? That's the whole point of why you said he couldn't win. I don't know what else you could say about this. Let me see. What a way to end the year boxing for anyway. Oh, yeah, I forgot. One of the last cards of the year is Naoya Inoue and Picasso and Junta Nakatani all fighting on the same, and Haito and Raito Sutsumi also fighting on the same. Good gosh, that card is stacked for December. Is it 27th or 23rd? I can't remember. It's one of them 2 days. But either way, boy, it's going to be a monster night. If you have not watched a Japanese card, I beg you on my hands and knees, watch this card. I am begging you. If you don't know what's going on at the lower weight classes, at like 122, 126, even up to 130, I am begging you, watch this card. Night of the Samurai, December 27th. I'm begging you. I'm not paid. Hopefully I get paid soon. Hopefully I get sponsored by Top Rank or whoever in the world, the ring. I don't care who. But I'm telling you right now, as a pundit and fan of this sport, so you can understand why we say, on this channel anyway, that the lower weight classes are some of the best weight classes in all the boxing and will make you be able to want to care some more. I advise you to watch this card because I guarantee you, it's going to be early in the morning. You will not be able to sleep because of the amount of action that will take place from the jump all the way to the end. There is no fight that is an easy fight, and there is no fight that is not an absolute banger. None. Not one. I guarantee you, not one. Not one. Not one. I promise you. It's going to be beautiful. It's going to be beautiful, man. It is going to be beautiful. Let me see. What was it? Hulk sauce? What's going on? Hulk? Oh, yeah, my favorite Marvel character, the Incredible Hulk. Like I said, honestly, I still somewhere in my room got my Hulk gloves that I used to punch my family with, and we used to get in fights with each other. Everybody get one glove. Everybody got a glove. Everybody, you couldn't throw with your right. You put your glove on your best powerful hand. Everybody got in the room, and you would go. And everybody turns to Deontay Wilder. I'm talking everybody's rearing up and just goes. Everybody would rear up with that power hand and just throw nothing but straight rights. And for like hours on end. It was so much fun. And don't let us get mad at each other. We would take that out just to be able to say we can punch you without actually hurting you. And we were still like full force, we trying to hurt people. It was great. I love it. My gosh. But let me see. Shakur too slow for T.O. LOL, timing beats speed. You'll see January 31st. Now that is interesting. The timing of T.O., which we will most likely talk about more so on Friday. Because again, we got another show on Friday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. Hey, it's going to be great. But the timing of Teofimo Lopez, always a joy to see. Again, that's the thing. That's the thing that stopped Loma and Josh Taylor and Barboza from doing what they wanted to do. The struggle came because I'm quick enough to time my shot against you to either meet you where you're trying to go, meet you with the same shot, or beat you with a better shot before you can land on me. I'll guarantee you. He did it to what was it? What he did? Saint Richard Comey. Y'all remember Richard Comey? Had that buddy doing a somersault in the ring. I'm telling you, y'all think I'm playing when I say T.O. got a shot. Y'all think I'm playing when I say T.O. got a shot? He do. He do. He absolutely does. It ain't a joke. It ain't a joke. T.O. got faster hand speed. Shakur got better footwork. Fine. But dealing with the other is going to be the biggest concern. And if T.O.'s power, coupled with his ability to go and trade, not just trade, time you, just like he did with the other great fighters that he faced off against, can affect Shakur in the same way, it's going to be a long night. I'm not saying he can't win. I'm not saying Shakur can't win. Again, I'm not picking one or the other right now. I am slightly leaning towards T.O. It is this much. You can't even see the space. It's that much of a microscopic level of space between the two right now. That's how much I'm just leaning towards T.O. at this point in time. We got a good month. We got over a month to go. Absolutely. We won't talk about this fight a lot, but even still, mark my words, buddy. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you, it ain't sweet out here. Like you may think with Shakur Stevenson, just gonna be able to box him with ease. He ain't. I promise you he ain't. He ain't. Yeah, he ain't. Let me see. She a female version. Bro, you talking about Alpha or Elif? Excuse me. Is it Elif? Yeah, Elif. Elif. I would not gonna say she's a buckwab. Well, actually, that might be a good comparison. That actually might be a good comparison. I'll take that back. That might be a good comparison. You might be on to something there. Oh, man, you might be on to something there. I'm not going to lie. Let me see. Von Greenhill, who would you like to see on the undercard of Shakur versus Hill? Well, to make sure that we get the excitement up for the whole of the card, it's going, let me see here. I would have, if I could, I'd make the rematch with Lamont with the Eastside Cruz. Hey, I'd make that happen. I'd make that happen quick and in a hurry. Absolutely. I'd make that happen. You got a month to get ready and you get back in the fight. That's what I would do. That's me. That's just me. But it would have to be for the sake of making sure we get guaranteed entertainment because there is a potential opportunity that it could be a boring affair for the fight. If they're both so deliberately conservative because of the tactical affair that could actually take place. What would be a good fight to have? For that. Huh. Well, number one, I'm putting Martinez. If he does have a fight already, I'm putting with Martinez and Billy. Though Billy's got a fight with Hamzat Shiraz now guaranteed, I'm putting Martinez in the ring with another good fighter. I'm probably putting Martinez in the ring with Berlanga just to get straight up excitement. Straight up excitement at super middleweight on another Ring Magazine card in Madison Square Garden. Yeah, interesting affair, especially with what Martinez showed in that fight. Hey, Berlanga needs a fight to get back, and Martinez needs a fight to be sure that he puts himself in position to get closer to a championship opportunity. I wouldn't be mad at putting that fight at super middleweight. I'd make that fight. I would make a fight. Could we put Boots and Virgil Ortiz on that? Well, yeah. Well, no, we couldn't. Could we? Has it been enough time since their last fight? It might not be enough time for that fight. Maybe we can't make that fight. Shoot. No, I don't think it's been enough time by athletic commissions for them to be able to recover and get back. If I could, I would have made that 31st. Boots and Virgil Ortiz on the undercard of Shakur versus Teofimo Lopez. As with that being the main event, that being the co-main. Guaranteed excitement. That would be if I had a dream card to make, that would be the one. And then for like a third one, if Talma wasn't scheduled, I try to put him in a card in New York to get him. I would try to put him on that card to get him acquainted with the American audience on a big time Ring Magazine card. And there's one more. If I had to make a fourth fight, Floyd Schofield. That's what I do. I put Floyd Schofield. I will put Floyd Schofield on the card. I don't know against who. I don't care against who. Floyd Schofield on the card with the interaction with him and Shakur and how that 135 and 140, that whole conversation of, hey man, can you beat me? Or I want to fight against you. All right, fine. You recovered, you're good. Let me see what you got. And you put on another great display. You got your potential opportunity at either Abdullah Mason or to drum the pot even more with that fight with you and Shakur that never actually happened. That would be my card if I could make 4. I don't know if it's feasible. I just know for excitement purposes, that's what I would do. That's what. Or you could also put Shushu Carrington. You could put Shushu Carrington on there as well. At 126, get him a fight because again, it's in front of Bronx. It's Madison Square Garden, the Mecca. New York would be coming out. Everybody would love it. Don't be mad at it. I wouldn't be mad at it. I think that's a pretty decent card. Abdullah Mason and Schofield on the card. Well, is Abdullah free because he just had a fight with Sam Noakes? I don't know how long the process has to be before you can go through and not be active. Especially at a war like that. I'm not sure how long you got to be. But if I could do it, that would be perfect. That would be perfect. Mason versus Schofield, Berlanga versus Martinez, Shushu and Carrington, fighting out the Bronx with somebody else, Calvin Ford. I'm sorry, Raymond Ford as Antonio Fair, I wouldn't be mad at that. I would not be mad at that at all. I think that's a pretty decent card. I think that's a pretty decent card if I do say so myself. Or even better, we get Jenny back up there. Just somehow, some way. Well, no. Well, no, hold on. No, I bet you. Hold on. Hold on, wait a minute.
We got some problems here.
He's still pop dirty. He's still pop. But they're going to do the B sample. If the B sample comes back negative, and he does get proven innocent, I'd put him on a card in New York City at 160 with somebody. It don't even got to be a big name. It probably ain't going to be Carlos Adames. But if it could be Carlos Adames, great. But if it ain't, so be it. Just with somebody. Just to get some more notoriety amongst the 160 and get some buzz around multiple divisions. That would be my card that I would make. Balance of excitement, fun, name value, competitive fights in a championship affairs, and a night that you wouldn't be able to sit down. But I'd have a little more breaks than just 5 minutes between each fight. Because give me some time to actually use the bathroom. Give me time to actually take a rest. Good gosh, I would love that. But let me keep on reading with you all. Have to say, Shakur Freeze De Los Santos should tell he will beat Teo because Santos just as fast and explosive as Teo. Yeah, but he can't cut off the ring. He can't cut off the ring. And he's not as good of an offensive fighter. And he's not nearly as smart when it comes to IQ and general shit. He's explosive. But he won't make he can't make adjustments. Teo can. The only thing that's good that is akin to that fight with Teo is the athletic ability. Outside of that, it's nothing else. It's night and day. It's night and day. Night and day. Night and day. With all due respect to De Los Santos, it's a different fight. Completely different fight. Mr. Miyagi, hold on. Wait a minute, we got paid. Hold on. Wait a minute. Hold on. We got paid. Hey, we got paid today. How you doing, Mr. Miyagi? Thank you again for giving alms to the empire as you come in and give your doubloons and give your shekels all to the great cause of building our empire to the biggest show in all of the. We appreciate your patronage, your due diligence to support this conglomerate of a community. Thank you so much for the €5 super chat. And let me see what you got to say on today. Salute to Jean-Luc Welch. Salute to you as well. Imanaga versus Arabi on December 27th is going to be dangerous. That Cuban is a no-joke killer. Yeah, I forgot that fight is on December 27th. I'm telling you, see, I was just telling people before you got here, you need to be watching that card on December 27th. It's not a joke. What they're doing over there in Japan, man. It's going of every card I've seen this year in Japan, and all of them have been bangers. This one's going to be the best, probably out of all of them, from a qualitative standpoint. In light of what happened with Benavidez, Yard, and Janibek, with the Benavidez and Yard card, where Janibek had to pull out, and where the likes of Archie Beterbiev couldn't fight on it either. This might be the deepest card that we've had in all of boxing this year. At the end of the year, it's going to be spectacular. It's going to be incredible. And Imanaga versus Robbie, that's just one of the insane fights. It's going to be great, man. It's going to be phenomenal. But yeah, no, that Cuban, he's a killer. He's a killer. He is a killer, man. I'm telling you, it's going to be great. It's going to be war. It's the best gift to boxing fans. It's the best gift for fans of boxing, enjoying this guy while he's still, he in terms of anyway, yeah. No, you ain't. Also, wait a minute, Ryan, hey brother, hold on, wait a minute. How you doing? Good to see you. Thank you for tuning in to the show. We're so happy that you're here with us on today. We appreciate you coming through and coming back. We got a soldier that's done return. Thank you for tuning in. Hey, brother, I'm so glad you're. While you were away, we got monetized. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We're making big bucks out here. Or at least we're trying to anyway. We appreciate it. We appreciate you tuning in and coming back through. What's up to you, man? I'm glad that you here. We've had a whole bunch of conversations about a whole bunch of stuff since you've been away. I've been wrong on some situations. I've been right too. But boy, it's been a great display. And hey, since you're here, hey, leave a like on the video. And since you ain't been here, pay me some money, brother. Yeah, we're going to tax you. We're going to tax your butt to Kingdom Come. I want $100 from you and you specifically. I'm kidding. Please don't leave. I'm kidding. Just jokes. We're just glad that you're here along for the ride. And hey, man, we've had a whole bunch of talk. We're still in the championship rounds. And if you want to talk about anything under the sun, hey, this is the time to do it. We're at the tail end of the show. We got about 10 minutes left. Cause we're trying to keep it within 3 hours. Cause we don't want to drown people, drone on, be too long-winded. But hey, as long as y'all talk, we're going to keep on rocking. But we're at about the tail end of the scheduled show for roughly 3 hours. We try to, we want to go 2. But no, we just keep on going. And it's too good of a conversation. But hey, since you're here, keep on chatting. I want to see what you all got to say. And I'm so glad that you're back, man, because we missed you. We missed you. Hopefully we got some more people hopefully we got more people returning. I'm still looking for, what's that one? What's the other one? What's the other one? The one of the people that I banned accidentally from the chat for like upwards of a year. And I didn't know that I had done it. And it was, oh Lord, it was a shame. But either way, we're growing, we thriving, and we appreciate all of you being here. No question about it. And I can't wait to see what y'all got to say. I just looked back at that Lopez versus Ortiz fight and scored the fight 10-2 for Teo, possibly 9-3. Super biased commentary as well. And Teo won. But it was in a way that you could tell he was struggling. The fight was closer, competitive than what it was expected to be. And it was apparent what was giving him a whole bunch of trouble. Same thing that gave him trouble with Sandor Martin. That again, at that point in time, with all of the other stuff surrounding his personal life and with in the ring as well, not being focused like he should have been, he wasn't the same. He wasn't fighting the same. And now we've seen someone with Barboza that looks like he might have learned from those fights, from those struggles, how to handle movers, more conservative fighters, people of that Ortiz and Sandor type of cut cloth, which Shakur is, even though he's leagues better. He's leagues better. Be clear, he's leagues better. But still, he of that same struggle of stylistic nature. Teo may have learned how to adapt to that, which hopefully bodes well in its fight. Hopefully it does. Bodes well for a fight that can be all the more enticing, enthralling, and outright entertaining to see. No question about it. And so I can't wait to see it. Scott Nicholson is looking in excellent. Yes, she is. Let's hope she can keep that mean streak going, being able to go through and really be demanding with her physical power and aggression more than anything. Teo was laying in more effective work. Yeah, he was. Teo couldn't cut out the ring on Jermaine O'Neal. He couldn't. And again, that was one of the factors. Cutting out the ring against Martin. Cutting out the ring against Jermaine Ortiz. Though now I thought he lost the Martin fight. Be clear. I thought he lost the Sandor Martin fight. But Ortiz, he won. But boy, he did not look good. And I get it. Now, if he can't cut off the ring like he did against Ortiz in a more effective manner, then Shakur, especially with Shakur being a fighter, that you're going to have to corner him to be able to work like you want to work, because it's going to be hard to hit him just working your way inside, because he's a master at distance. He is. I don't care if you feel like him or not. That's one of the biggest traits about him. He's going to have a tough time. He's going to have a very tough time. Very tough time indeed. But if you can, let me see. Super excessive lateral movement, and then holding Teo when he actually does find him. I'm glad we have sane judges. And that same thing, though, can happen with Shakur. I'm not saying Shakur is going to be a hugger. Again, he's not Devin Haney. Thank the Lord. Thank the Lord. He's not Devin Haney. But he can have similar properties. He will clinch up if it needs to be. Hey, but I got to stop some of this momentum. He's smart enough to do that. And I guarantee you, Teo's going to have to deal with that. And whatever lack of ability that Ortiz was able to do to capitalize when he wasn't even making Teo uncomfortable, uneasy, frustrated with his movement laterally. Shakur ain't going to have that same level of problem. He will score. He will land. He will, if you can't keep up with him from the standpoint of movement and distance, he'll make it pay. And he'll make the gap known. But if Teo's learned, he can mitigate that. And it can be a very exciting affair. Let me see. That's why he was frustrated and kept on putting his hands up. Teo good, but he's not close to mentally strong as could. I could have said that. I could have said that if he didn't fight Josh Taylor. I could have said that if he didn't fight Josh Taylor and do what he did to Josh Taylor. I could have. I can't say that no more. I can't say that no more. I cannot say that anymore. We even see with the interviews, he's more poised, Teo. He's more collective. You can say all the rhetoric is insane for how Teo is talking. But he's the one right now getting in Shakur's head, at least making it seem like, hey, but what is this dude on? Like we talked about at the start of the show. There is a moment in time right now where Teo, on the mental landscape of the fight, as unorthodox as it may appear to be, at least from my perspective, which it is kind of, seems some out-of-pocket stuff, it's getting to Shakur in some way, shape, or form. Questions about the fight or beyond the fight, they're getting to him. Just from the standpoint of, hey man, why are you talking about that? Why are you doing this out the third? We don't, and we see Teo doing what Teo does. And mentally, I'm not saying Shakur is rattled. I'm not. But Shakur is playing the game that Teo likes to play, where I'm the one puppeteering where this conversation is going to go. You can talk loud and you can do all that stuff if you want, but I'm the one that still feels in control. I'm cool, calm, and collected, and I say what I want to say, bing, bang, boom. Every time you respond, it's only feeding into what I'm trying to be. Seeds of unease, unpredictability, of bumping against the norm of what this should be and what other people have done that have faced off against Shakur Stevenson. Again, it's not me saying that Teo's won the fight. But just like with Tyson Fury, how he did it with other opponents, got him under their skin. This is what talkers do. This is what showmen do. This is what showmen do. I'm not saying it guarantees who wins the fight, but it does show a litany of exposure of what can be a story leading into said fight. It's not guaranteed, but it is something that we've seen used multiple times to unlock an answer to a Rubik's Cube of what the opponent is going to do in that fight or what we can make him do in that fight. And a lot of times the fight's won. Teddy Atlas said it himself. A lot of times the fight's won before the fight. The fight before the fight is the real fight. The mind, the mental landscape, the endless river where you're going through. How do you sail? Before we get into the actual race, brother, what you doing on these rocky roads of a river tells a story. As little or big as it may seem, it tells a story. And it builds upon a way of success for the opponent. Hypothetically, anyway, if we're going to go by how track record normally goes. But even still, let me go reading what you all have to say. So I want to make sure that I can read as much as I can. Instead of penalizing running, they penalize holding. That's even worse than running. But Rohan Polanco and Karan Sugarjan should be on the card. They should. Now, Shakur John don't run. Shakur John, as you saw against Boots, he don't run. That buddy, he'll sit in the pocket with you. He'll be slick. He was giving Boots trouble the first time, not by holding. At least not in the first half of the fight. But it was he can fight now. That buddy can fight without Boots at 147. But it's a real possibility. We could see Shakur John getting the title. He is that good. He's that good. He thankfully, from what I saw, both of those fights, hey man, he was that buddy, if he needs to dig, he'll dig. I think his last fight was even by a stoppage, actually. Doing similar work that he was doing, trying to do the Boots in this. I'm telling you, that buddy can fight. That buddy can fight. I would like to see him on the card. And also holding, I would like to see get penalized more. I would. Because you can't be, again, it would make for more boxing action. Stifle, fighting in the clinch is no problem. But initiating the clinch and doing nothing with it, I hate that. I despise it. I despise it. I despise that with all heart and soul. Let me see. I bet most of y'all think Teo gonna win because he beat Loma and Taylor. I look at Shakur like I did Crawford. Other fighters duck him for a reason, and they'll show y'all why. And be clear, I am using examples of the best versions of Teo that was Loma and Taylor. That does not mean that I'm saying that he's gonna win out. Like I said, it's 50-50. It's a 50-50 fight. It's as 50-50 fight as you can get. Be clear. Shakur, people don't want to fight Shakur. You doggone right. People don't want to fight Shakur. People don't want to deal with that Rubik's Cube. You can say that they're boring. You can say it doesn't matter. They don't want to mess with it. I completely am with you. Completely with you on that regard. But it's more than just, we're not just saying because he beat them, hey, it's guaranteed. We're saying because he beat them, he's faced off against people that bring some of the same tools that Shakur has. And if he is locked in, he can fight up to a level that can beat Shakur. We know this. We know this. It's not a slight. That's just the reality. Anything less, Shakur whoops him. Anything less than that, Shakur whoops him. Anything less than what he was against Taylor and Loma, the two best performances of his career against the two best talents of his career, one of whom was the best in the world, he's going to lose to Shakur. It's going to be that type of story. We're not holding this as just because he did that is why he will beat him. No, if he doesn't fight like that, he doesn't beat Shakur. That's what I'm saying. If he doesn't get back to that level, he doesn't beat Shakur Stevenson. He's got to be that good. That's what I'm saying. He's got to be that good to be able to beat him. And it's not even guaranteed. It's not even guaranteed. Trust me. I'm giving Shakur all the respect he deserves and some. Because I know the type of talent he is. I know how good that brother is. Pound for pound consideration for a reason. Could have been undisputed at 135. He could have. He can be undisputed at 140. If he beats Teo, guess what? I said if he beats Teo, he's going to be, there's no doubt in my mind he goes undisputed at 140. None at all. Not one iota of doubt. He goes undisputed at 140 if he beats Teofimo Lopez. If Keyshawn doesn't have a belt. Because he said he won't fight Keyshawn Davis. But if he did fight Keyshawn Davis, guess what? I think he beats Keyshawn Davis. And then he goes undisputed. I wouldn't be way out the realm possibility. 147. He could do work there. Make a run undisputed there. If he really, he's that good. He's that good. He's that good. He's that. I said he would have been able to. I said he would have beat Tank. I said he would have beat Tank. When Tank was ruling, quote unquote ruling, 135 is the best talent in the land. I said Shakur would have beat Tank. I'm giving him all the respect I can. I don't know how much more I can say. That don't take away from the fact that this fight is a different animal. It's a different animal. Because we're dealing with a different monster. Just straight up. It's just straight up. Teo knows how to adjust. Armin Roder, you're absolutely right. He knows how to adjust. He's been able to make game plans in the midst of a fight for different fighters. He's that good. Shakur faced somebody like that. But Lopez faced somebody like Shakur. Doesn't mean guaranteed, but there is an experience that does make for a different type of fight. That can be and has been a sole ability to make or break a performance. It has. It's not a negative. It's not a slight. It's just the truth of the matter. Teo's been at a level where Shakur's never been at. Teo's beating people that Shakur never beat. This just what that shows. Teo can be at a level that Shakur hasn't experienced yet. That's what's so invested about this fight. But we don't know what type of Shakur, we don't know what type of Teo we're going to get. We don't know what type of Teo we're going to get. We think we do, but we don't. We think we do, but we don't. Because the consistency has still been lacking in some regards to get people to want to see some level of correspondent and translative performance and talent every time out. We haven't seen that from Teo. Not as consistently as need be. So it can be a problem. It can be a problem. Shakur haven't lost. Teo have. And Shakur know how to make adjustments as well. So we can't stop like Teo, the only one. He's not. Like I said, he lost. He lost to Cambosos. Absolutely. He lost to, actually, is that the only loss on his record? Hold on. Wait a minute. Have I been misdoing? Hold on. I think I misspoke. I think that is the only loss that he had. That's it. Yeah, that's the only loss that he had at Cambosos. And we all say that's the worst performance and the worst version of Teo we have ever seen, and we've never seen that again. And also, he had a literal life or death health issue, an embolism in his chest and in his throat that literally could have killed him inside of the ring. Just like that. Gone. Legit. Not trying to make excuses. I'm giving context. That's what happened. And thankfully, he hasn't fought that bad since. Like I said, a loss doesn't mean everything. Thank gosh. A loss shouldn't mean everything. But like I said before, this is why I just said, y'all, we're still in the vestiges of the Floyd Mayweather era. One loss still makes you think that you're out the pasture. When it's not, it's not the case. It ain't the case at all. But let me see. I'm still trying to make sure I read everybody. That can go through and catch as much as I can. I'm trying to make sure I read some of the more detailed chat. Not trying to avoid anybody, but I'm trying to make sure we can keep the flow of conversation going. If Thomas Taylor is the ref, I know he is calling all holds. I hope it ain't Harvey Dot. I hope it ain't Harvey Dot. And no, forget that. The brother that was doing the card, or the brother that refed, what was the fight? He just did a fight. We just had a problem with him. He refed the Usyk and Dubois fight, and he refed one of the other cards that we had like 2 weeks ago. And we were like, this brother keeps on messing up. What was this man's name? What was his name? What was his name? He looks like, is he Indian? He looks like he's from somewhere out east. What is his name? What is that brother's name? I can't think. But that ref is a problem. The same ref that was doing Usyk and Dubois, who had another fight upwards of, I think, like 2 weeks ago, that we watched on this live, and we kept saying, you're messing up a great affair. The ref became the story again. Whatever his name is, I hope he's not doing it. Harvey docking that brother. I hope he ain't doing it. Because, boy, I better not see another fight get ruined because this brother is calling stuff that doesn't need to be called. It's a shame. It's the same, I think it's the same brother that was in the Ben Rodriguez fight against Kafu. I think it was that same cat. I forget his name, though, but better not be him. Better not be him. Oh, better not be. Let me see. I disagree. Shakur won't break as undefeated and was under a lot of pressure against Cepeda, especially since he couldn't use lateral movement too much. I think more so he chose not to, rather than he couldn't. He could have fought and just straight up moved, but he chose to stay in the pocket more than anything. I love that performance by Shakur, but he hadn't fought like that before. Closely we had seen that was in the closing rounds of Haratunian when he could have put him out, but he didn't. But still, I don't think he could have. And that's what makes him so interesting, because he can be multi. If he chooses to fight in a way, he can. Will he fight like that again? Most likely not. And lateral movement hasn't really been the biggest thing about Shakur. It's been the microscopic steps to keep him at bay. That's been the biggest thing. The micro movements of Shakur make distance seem a world apart, even though he's right in front of you. Again, Gojo, Jujutsu Kaisen. Big anime fan is what I am. Again, I watched season 1 in the movie. About to watch the season 2, phenomenal. Love it. But, brother, Infinity, like with Gojo, you can't touch. He's right there. He's right here, but you can't touch him. He's right in front of you. You think you're right there, and you can't touch him. You can't do a doggone thing about him. That's Shakur's superpower. That is his domain expansion. That is his devil fruit, whatever the word you want to use. Rinnegan, Sharingan. Whatever version you want to use of a power, that's what he has. It's not lateral. It's literal. It's not lateral. It's vertical. He's right here with you, but yet you can't touch him. And if you do touch him, guess what? All of a sudden, you actually didn't. You're getting caught with a 3-piece counter, and I'm beating you on the inside with Philly shell, block and shoot, or pivoting out and doing the same dance. But you can't do nothing with it. It's hard. It's really hard. I think Teo might stop him. That's a no. I don't know. Oh shoot, boy! If he does that, oh gosh, that would be insane. That would be ridiculous. Let me see. Teo, the one who has questions, do we still got it? And the one who lost just back again, a loss. If you're thinking that a loss means that you haven't grown, then that's just not, it's not feasible. We've said it since that Camboso's loss, he's been getting better and doing what he's supposed to do. So and he lost. Great. Guess what? This is still the hardest fight Shakur is going to have at this point in time in his career. Still, that doesn't change nothing. Shakur can still lose. And with everything Shakur is, he's still a great fighter. He's still strong. But it's 50-50 for a reason. It's 50-50 for a reason. No question about it. Teo showed he showed you can come back and be able to be what you can be. And see, and look. This still shows y'all what I'm saying. If Teo loses, it's not going to be as steep as if Shakur loses. Because sentiments like this, where your loss is everything, brother, is going to drastically hit the stock of Shakur, on top of all the other criticisms about his style. It's going to be big. You think I'm playing? It's going to be big, man. It's going to be big. It's going to be big. It's going to be big. It's going to be huge. I promise you. It's going to be 100% what holding should be penalized so severely so it stopped. Yeah. That's what I'm saying as well. Sandro really gave Alberto Puello a real tough time. He did. Yes, he did. You right about that. He did. Sandor, because Sandor, he was like 40 when he fought Teo, and he still barely lost after Teo. Like that brother, he real. He real. Like he legit real. We see how more people in the chat. Now, I don't know how to pronounce your name. I do apologize. I believe it's kanji. The lettering. Is it kanji? Is that how you say it? And I wanted to, let me, oh, wait, hold on, wait a minute, hold on, wait, hold on. Wait a minute. Now, I'm going to address the chat later. I'm going to address the chat later. I think this is, at least in English, Kazuya Hayakawa. Now, I'm putting it through Google Translate. So if this is your name and this isn't actually your name, I do apologize. I do apologize. And you're Japanese, and I love it, and I appreciate it. I'm so glad that you're here. I believe it's Kazuya. Putting it through Google Translate. If I am wrong, please, I do apologize. But I appreciate that you're here. I'm so happy you're with us all today. Thank you for finding my channel. Hopefully you leave a like on the video. Hopefully you subscribe. And also, this is ridiculous. Brother, what are you talking about? In a way, it's fake. In a way, ain't real. One of the greatest boxers this generation ain't real. The brother who's been undisputed twice, undefeated, about to beat Larry Holmes' lineal championship record, beat Ahmad Ali, MJ, Lewis Neary, Doheny, Tapalis, Stephen Fulton, no need to donate twice, won the Super Series, one of the highest knockout ratios that we got in the game, knocked out Ramon Cardenas. I think, with all due respect, that's ludicrous. My gosh, hey, I'm sorry. That is wild. That is wild. I think Ryan Garcia's pound for pound. Now, again, with all due respect, I don't believe Garcia has any remote conversation for being pound for pound. You know why? Because the brother hasn't even won a championship legit, full-blown one. Could have been when he beat Devin Haney, could have had an argument. Now he's not. But my gosh, brother, shoot. If he beats Barrios and goes through 147, okay, fine. Goes through it clean, okay, fine. We can talk. Hypothetically, we can talk. But until then, he shouldn't be talking about I love his description of what he feels about the Hall of Fame. It should be stricter. But when he says stuff like Gennady Golovkin shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame, it's a weak class. You know what? There's a time and a place to use your words. That ain't one of them. Especially when your jurisdiction of talent ain't up to snuff. Just me. I'm not crazy. Ryan's an all-time great. Here, I don't know. Hey, I strongly disagree. He's an all-time great entertainer. Sure. As a fighter, nah, he ain't there yet. He got room to grow. He can still get there. But he ain't there yet. He ain't there yet, sadly. He ain't out there. Also, let me see. Teachings PBS, what's going on with you? How you doing? Good to see. I'm going to start reading through these things a little bit quicker so I can make sure I actually catch, and we're well over the time limit. I don't care. You know what? We're going to still rock. We're trying to foster a community, so we're going to do what we got to do. So, hey, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening. And like I said, we're going to make sure we catch everybody. Louis Pabon, that might have been the referee's name that I'm thinking of. Let me see if I can see. Is that his face? No, it's not Louis Pabon. It's not Louis Pabon. It's somebody else. It's not Pabon. It's is it Hector Cafu? I'm trying to. Is it Hector Cafu? Is this him? Hector, that's it. That's butter. That's butter. That's butter right here. Where's it at? I done found. My gosh, I done found this cat. I've been looking for this cat for who knows. Where's my screen? This butter. This absolute. This man. This complete. Oh gosh, the face of absolute buffoon. This brother right here is one of the worst refs I have seen. Oh my gosh. Hector Afu. Oh, shoot. I despise this cat. I despise this dude as a ref. Oh, my gosh. He's so... He was in the NDR fight. He was in the, he was in the Kafu fight. There was another fight that he was in, Where's the other? Where's the other one? Where's the other one? Where's the other one? Doggone it! This brother was in the Carlos Adames Chivas fight. Boachuk Davis. Barrios Ramos. This dude was in everything. The bane of my existence. When it comes to watching some, oh gosh, oh shoot, my goodness. You mean this brother was reffing? There's no way. There's no way this cat was reffing that fight. This dude reffed, this brother reffed in a way versus Fulton. Are you kidding? Get him out of here. Get him out. Get him going. Get him go. Where's this? Where's this thing? I ain't even share my screen. Where's this thing at? This right here. This dude right here. Did it go? What happened? Wait a minute. Whoa, what's going on? This dude right here. This absolute monster of a referee from the way that he refs. Monstrous in the worst way possible. I cannot stand this man as a referee. Oh my gosh. I have yet to see, of the last 5 fights I've seen with this brother in it, 3 of them have had something go awry, something go wrong, something go absolutely abhorrent, where it's like, why are you taking away the story of the fight by injecting yourself in a negative context? It is the bane of my existence. Oh gosh. But it's absolutely wild, man. But I digress. I'm sorry. I do apologize. Kind of lost myself there. Hector Afu from Panama. I apologize. Lost myself a little bit. I'm sorry. He just gets me so mad. He just gets me so mad. I'm so sorry. He just gets me so mad. Let me see. If Shakur beats Tio, that's the end of Tio. Well, Tay, how you doing? Good to see you. Thank you for tuning in. It's not Tio. It's not the end for Tio. It's not the end for Tio, but it definitely does build a long road for him to climb. It does. I'm not gonna lie. It does. It would. From a lot. He wouldn't be over. He wouldn't be over. You lost to Shakur. It's Shakur now. We ain't gonna act like he's just losing to, again, another Cambosos. He's losing to one of the best boxers in the world. I have no problem with that. But it's gonna be a longer trek to climb on his road back to a championship window. I won't deny that at all. Shakur would beat Tio. Now, if you think Shakur would beat Tio, I can't fault you. Like I'm again, like I said, all of this is early talks. All of this is very early predictions. And again, if I believe this is Kazuya. If I have the Japanese lettering correct. If I'm wrong, please excuse me. But I believe, if again this is Kazuya, Like, if you want to feel that he can beat him, no issue there. No problem there. I get it. But we're going to have more about this whole conversation as time goes on. I guarantee you. I promise you. And also, anyways, faking overrated. I'm sorry. That's a bold-faced lie if I've ever seen one. Let me see. I only tell a real. Y'all tripping. What's with the hate with anyway? Like, you got people that love him, respect him. Even people that are indifferent. They're cool with him. Then you got people that just completely go over the top. I'm confused as to why. I don't get why that's the case. Can I ask Kazuya, what's the deal with the ire against Inoue? Because I don't really know what else needs to be proven for him to go through and show us better. From a genuine perspective, if I may say. Oh, okay. It's all got it right. Your name is Kazuya Hayakawa. Okay, so it is Kazuya. All right. Okay, cool. Like I said, I'm trying to get through these chats. So it is Kazuya. Okay, so we got the name. So it is Kazuya. So Kazuya, again, thank you for tuning in. But I don't get the beef with the angst against Inoue. I don't understand it. I don't get it. Let me see. Anyway, the real deal, but I'm against Nakatani. I don't know who will win that one. That's why I can't wait. We are one fight away. We're one date away from finally getting the biggest fight in Japanese history, which will rival anything you can think of. Oh gosh, it's gonna be so exciting. It's gonna be incredible. It's gonna be fun. But real quick, before I get in, see, you're coming back on your mess. You're coming back on your mess. You're coming back on your mess with this B-level stuff. Look, man, I don't get it. The brother washed Ahmed Ali. If that don't put him at A tier. When people were saying this brother was avoiding Ahmed Ali, what else does he need to do? I'll ask this, and hopefully we can have more time tomorrow, because we do got to do last calls so we can make sure we do get out of here. If he beats Nakatani in the same way that he beat MJ, will you then call him an A fighter? I got to ask that. If he beats Nakatani, if he gets past Picasso, because he got to get past Picasso. If he beats Picasso and gets past Nakatani and beats Nakatani in the same way he beat MJ or Ahmed Ali, will you then call him an A fighter? I don't know what else he would have to do. Because I can't. What's he got? He's got to go to 130 and win at some point. At some point, he got to cross that threshold. I don't know what else he could do. I don't know what else he could do. I legit don't know what else he could do. How much we betting since there's a chance I might be surprised. Oh, see. Now y'all talking money. And I'm telling you, there's going to be a lot of money thrown around for this fight. I promise you. I guarantee you. Let me see. Also, Edwin, how you doing? Good to see you. Edwin, 1381. Good to see you. Thank you for tuning into the show. Shakur's going to get beat. Shakur's going to beat Tio with a smile. Hey, look, I get it. I feel you. Like I said, we're going to have people on both sides of the spectrum. We've been delving into this fight, but this was supposed to be a preview. Look now, this was supposed to be a preview of just insinuating what this fight was. We done broken down stuff that we weren't supposed to get into up until stinking January. Y'all messing up my program, y'all. Y'all messing up my flow. I gotta have content for the rest of the year. I gotta have content for the rest of the year, and y'all just going through and jumping the gun on some of these topics. My gosh, my goodness, my lord, it's getting ridiculous. Now let's see, Fulton, Erie, don't air. They're D class fights. I don't believe that at all. Now Fulton, hey man, how we look at Oshaki Foster? Hey, or you could make an argument for that from the standpoint of at the likes of whatchamacallit? What's his name? What's the dude? At 130. That's what I was thinking of. At 130, you might be a D-level fighter. Below might be where he's better at to belong. He don't need to be at 130 no more. That should be out of sight, out of mind. Cause that can be bad. That can be very. Who is your fighters you think is better? Oh, you might be talking about in the terms of the comments with who's better than like anyway. Fulton C level for sure. Yeah. Hey, brother. I'm surprised you didn't put that brother at F with how bad he looked against Foster. I'm surprised. I thought you were gonna say this brother shouldn't even be rated, knowing how strict you are with your ratings. It's the reason why Shakur respected all across the boxing community. The guy's been a household name before he hit the scene. He been a prospect. Tio was a bigger household name, and then Shakur is now caught up and took in, number one lightweight division. Everybody wants to see him now. He's especially with that fight against Josh Padley and Zepeda really put him on the map. Absolutely understandable. Before he hit the scene, everybody know how good he were in the amateur, and he's better now, which is great. Which is why I love it. Let me see, Mark H. How you doing? Good to see you. Thank you for tuning in. Oh, talking about with some of the people in the chat. They might be talking. Hey, look, we're just having fun. We're just having a great conversation. Let me see. Shakur doesn't have the personality to go with to go for the kill against someone like a Tio. Yeah. And this is not a slight against Shakur, but that's not how Shakur is wired. That fight with Zepeda was an anomaly. I wish it was a more consistent thing, but it was an anomaly. So yeah, he most likely he ain't gonna go for the kill if he fights against Tio. It's gonna be very much. We're gonna do what we're supposed to do. If we don't, we can get messed up. We don't want to do that. Again, not play it safe to the realm of Devin Haney, but very much, hey man, we ain't gonna play your game. You're gonna play my game. Well, you're gonna play my game. Good God, there's so many people. There's so many people. I love it that there's so many people here. But my gosh, it is so much to see. So we gonna shoot. Wow, dang it. We're out of the hour 30. Okay, we're gonna have to do last calls. We're gonna have to. I'm sorry. I want to read all y'all's chats, but we're gonna have to do last calls for the show. Last call for the championship rounds, because we are well past the time I was supposed to have for how long the show was supposed to be. My gosh. And we didn't even hit the super chat goal of how long we were supposed to go. And it's 10 chats of any amount. We're going to add an hour. We added an hour regardless. I'm going to have to go and be more strict to make sure y'all give me some moolah. No, I'm kidding. I'm messing. Just being funny. But in all seriousness, we are well past the time, so we do have to do last calls. So we're going to take 5 minutes to get questions, comments, concerns. And we're going to scroll down so we can make sure we can see. After that, we're going to have to wrap this up and send it home, because we do got to make sure I can prep for tomorrow and give my voice a little bit of a rest. We have been going hard in this show, which I love. I do appreciate it. Hopefully, y'all keep on enjoying it. Hopefully, y'all will be back tomorrow. But regardless of which, let's keep on seeing what y'all got to say as we are in the last calls of this thing. Last 5 minutes. Now, after that, we're going to wrap this up and go and get on out of here. Let me see. Welch, the Nakatani anyway are both B level. If anyway beats Espinoza, I'll put him at A level. Okay, so it's going to take him to get to 126 and beat Espinoza for you to be A level. Can you at least put him at a B plus? Can we at least compromise on that? If he beats anyway, or if he beats Nakatani, can we at least put anyway at B plus as a compromise? Can we at least do that? That seems at least scaled. At least scaled to the strictness of the scaling. That seems like it would be fair. Just a little bit. That seems like it would be fair. At least a little bit. What makes Espinoza so special? It's similar to Sebastian Fundora, but in a more refined regard. It's the inside fighting at that height. The leverage and power. Now, he had some holes, definitely, in his last fight. No question. But that's a hard dude to stop. That's a hard dude to beat. Forgot Shakur's cap is gone. Still gonna put him. See, and this is where the banter comes into play. This is where the banter comes into play. Absolutely. It's gonna be saying, well, will you give respect if he dominates? If he dominates Espinoza, shoot. He dominates Espinoza in regards to, in a way, he should be best in the world. He should be, shoot. With the way anyone's going right now, he beats Nakatani. Solidifies himself as a number 2, if not tied for number 1. He beats Nakatani after beating Pacheco and Ahmed Ali with Cardenas as well. I wouldn't be mad if I said his work matched the abundance of spectacle that Crawford did in beating Canelo, because he's been so rapid fire. I would put him as tied for number 1 if he goes and beats Picasso, Ahmed Ali, Cardenas, and Nakatani in this type of sweeping stint. Yeah, I'd put him as a tie for Crawford. And for me, for number 1 in the world. For me. If you don't agree, perfectly fine. But that consistency of high-level work would match, for me, the insanity of Terrence Crawford. Because he's fought like, 4 or 5 times against great competition. He kept on winning. Like, I can't overlook that. Me, for my quality, for my standard, I can't overlook that. So that's why I gotta do the respect that I can do. If anyone beat Tank, I will give him respect. Well, if Tank beats anybody at 130 in today's age, we can start having a conversation. We've had many conversations with Tank, and the inability to fight the best when they are at his vicinity. Yeah, sure. Everybody who he beat went on and did successful stuff. I have no issue with that. But for the fights that we said Tank should be fighting at that level, like with the Shakurs, like with the Teos, like with the Devin Haney's, he never got in the ring with them, though he should have. And it should have already been done when they were all there at the same time, at the same space, even with Lomachenko. But he didn't do it. That's a problem that he's got to fix. He does that. We can start applying some more respect on him as well. I'm just going to. Most boxing fans only hype up like 6 fighters and just poo-poo on everyone else. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of casual fans out there. There's a lot of casual fans out there. But even still, like, we don't knock them. Hopefully this show is helping them to see and learn about more aspects of the sport and get a deeper, more fun understanding of, like, the deeper aspects and the more integrated aspects of the vast ocean of boxing, which is a beautiful thing. Genuinely, it's a beautiful thing. But let me keep on reading real quick. We got to make sure that we catch everybody that we can. Keyshawn going to be Hitchens. He ain't going to be able to handle when Keyshawn turns into a brawl, plus Hitchens sucks moving off his back foot. Now, Hulk, I agree with you there. I'm all with you there. Hitchens better not get in the ring. Keyshawn's going to beat up Hitchens. Now, also, that's why I said I don't think Bo Mack should have been nixed as Keyshawn's trainer in light of him trying to revamp everything. But he, as of right now, if everything is still the same with Keyshawn Davis as a fighter, yeah, he beats Hitchens. He knocks out Hitchens. I've been saying that for years. He knocks out Hitchens. Also, I just wanted to, hey, brother, what's going on with you? Truth, how you doing? Good to see you. Thank you for tuning into the show with us on today. Hold on one second, trying to make sure my stream is still up to snuff. Hold on. Trying to make sure. Okay, we're good. Also, I just figured out. I just like look closely at your thumbnail. Well, look, is that Jason Ozuma from Hajime no Ippo? Hey, man. Hey, major props. Major props. Major respect. That's a deep cut. That's an early cut from Hajime no Ippo. Hey, look, one of the best hookers in the game. I respect the profile picture. I really do. One of my favorite characters in the show. Let's see about Pacheco versus Seijo. My pick, Pacheco by KO in round 6. Pacheco by KO. against Seijo in round 6. Round 6. That's what I'm picking. That's what I'm picking. And again, we're gonna have a lot more time to talk about it on the March. I said Apatai I said Apatai was gonna get hurt, but he made Apatai thought what he did. But hey man, Sin Cara, but he made Apatai like gain some respect. But boy, did he pay for it. Dude, that brother, again, brain bleed and a fractured vertebrae off of that KO. That was a horrific left hand. Oh, gosh. That was insane. That was ridiculous. Anyway, strong. He should fight at welterweight. I mean, like, he's strong, but like, I'm not saying Tank should fight at 154. Bam is strong, but I'm not saying he should fight at 135. Everybody's body can't move up like that. That's nature beast. Even Tank can say, but I can't be at 140 like that, even though he should be. Even though he fought there before, like he actually did it. But like, greatness can transcend weight classes. And he has done that. But everybody's body ain't the same to be able to handle that weight at other weight class. And to do what it needs to be done. Canelo couldn't do it. He's one of the greatest we've ever seen in today's generation. When he lost at light heavyweight. The second time he moved up there. Because his body couldn't handle it. Greatness doesn't mean, hey, beat Tank or move up and conquer the world. Nah. If you have the ability to do it, yes, do it. But also, you also got to understand, everybody ain't Roberto Duran. And even if you're trying to move up as much as you can, there is a limit that sometimes your body just hits a wall. Sometimes it just does. And so, if he got to welterweight and was able to win, I mean, oh shoot, we talking Pacquiao level. We talking Pacquiao level greatness. We talking Pacquiao. He does that. That's Pacquiao level greatness. But even Pacquiao getting to 147, we're not calling Pacquiao weak if he didn't get all the way up to 147. Pacquiao stopped at 135. We would still be calling him one of the greatest we've ever seen. Like, for real. Come on now. If Pacquiao stopped at 130, we would still be calling him one of the greatest we've ever seen. Because it's just getting that far is insane. But weighed 98 pounds coming into the fight. Hit you in his debut. And got knocked out. And then went through and kept on fighting. Lo and behold, him getting to 126 was a testament. Him beating Oscar De La Hoya should not have happened from the normal framework of boxing. But it did. Like, you got to be something special. You do. And he is special. But I don't know where his body's going to go. He even said his limit is 126. He knows where he can stop. He knows where he's got to stop. If he feels he can do better, go for it. But just say you don't conquer weight classes where the quote-unquote mainstays are just because you're of a different weight class. Like you can't. You gotta do what you gotta do. Do everything you can where you are. That's what qualifies a great fighter. And if you can transcend, then transcend. But if you hit your limit, then fight everywhere you can at that limit. That's what I say. My opinion. After Shakur beats Tio, the only Latino, hopefully, is Bam. Ooh. You talking about the Bam fight Shakur? I don't know if that's gonna happen. I don't know if that's gonna happen. Shoot, if that does happen, my gosh, that'd be insane. Anyway, it's gonna get Fighter of the Year twice in a row. It might be Terrence Crawford. We're gonna talk about it tomorrow, but it might be Terrence Crawford. It might be Terrence Crawford. That win against Canelo put him on Forbes, put him on Time, put him on every single pedestal imaginable. One of the greatest things I've seen in the modern day in boxing, being able to beat Canelo coming up from 135. Yeah, no, that's insane. Even with what Inoue did. Most likely the voting is going to be Crawford. Hey, man. Shoot. That was insane. And it was insane. It was absolutely insane. But again, we're gonna find out. We can talk about it more tomorrow. Bam versus Inoue is the biggest fight they can make below 130 outside of Nakatani versus Inoue. Yes, that's the biggest fight. Or Bam versus Nakatani. Any of those combinations are the biggest fights you can make, which I would love to see. You better fight for 4 times. Yeah, he is. It's about to be insane. Why are you mentioning take amongst the greats? I'm not mentioning with them. I'm saying if he wants the respect with those greats, just do the work. Like I said on Tuesday, just do the work. That's all you got to do. Bam versus Nakatani will be bigger, especially if it goes how I think it's going to go. But the build-up's going to be, but understand, the economy of Japan will shift most likely because of how much of a spectacle that fight's going to be. I'm telling you, that fight's going to be huge. That fight's going to be huge, man. It's going to be so huge. It's going to be so huge. Let me see. Also, Coyote, I forgot to say your name while reading. Coyote, how you doing? Good to see you. Thank you for tuning into the show. Zero chance Nakatani versus Bam is bigger than Inoue versus Bam. It depends on who wins. It depends on who wins. Nakatani wins, he takes a big chunk of that momentum that Inoue has and puts it on his own rocket. And now that fight with Bam and Inoue, or Bam and Nakatani, becomes a huge deal. A huge deal. All of this greatness is interchangeable. Where it might not take away from somebody else if they lose, but it will add on immensely to the one who wins. And boy, that makes the other matchup going to be insane to see. It's going to be insane to see. Let me see how you. No, Inoue versus Nakatani is a shame. I hope not. I hope that's not. I hope that is not the sentiment that the citizens of Japan in the wider area over out east is thinking. Because my gosh, if that's how you're thinking, you are going to miss out on a moment in time that, mind you, we had Ali Frazier. We had Duran versus Leonard. Duran versus Hagler. UK had Nigel Benn versus Conor Benn. Or Nigel Benn versus Chris Eubanks. Klitschko versus AJ. We've seen big fights. That fight is going to be words can't describe. It's going to break records. It's going to break records, man. I'm telling you. Anyway, how do I see Scott Nicholson versus Avala going? I got Nicholson winning. And I'm gonna say that this knockout streak keeps on going. Hopefully, she doesn't go back to the more mundane boxing ways, and she outright goes and puts some pedal to the metal. She does that, we get a third knockout in a row. I'm a bank on saying that happens. I'm a bank on it. I don't know if it's gonna happen. Oh, Lord, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But hopefully, it does take place. There's a reason all of us broadcasters. There's a reason all the U.S. broadcasters left boxing because the fights that people hyped up are not that big and always result in losses for promoters and the broadcasters. Yeah, no, you're right. Now boxing's doing it in the right way, and now they're scrambling to find a home. But again, it's a hole that you dug for yourself, and it's a shame. It's a real shame. It's a real shame. Let me see. Yep, that's him. Everybody keeps thinking that it's Mike. Everybody keeps thinking it's Mike Tyson. Yeah, no, it's fine. You know why? Because it's a black dude with a cut hairline. And because the top of the head's cut off, they're thinking that the part's just going to naturally be there. They think it's Mike Tyson. But no, it ain't. It ain't. Look, hey, man, I'm well-versed. Like I said, like when I was younger, I binge-watched that thing 3 times. So I know the show. Azuma, I loved him. I wish he got more play in the show and in the manga. But even still, I digress. That's a whole other thing. That's a whole nother situation that we got to go. But we got to get out of here. I'm going to read 3 more chats and I'm going to go. I'm going to read 3 more chats and I'm going to get out of here because we got to go through and I've gone well and good beyond. Well and good beyond what I thought what I was supposed to be. My gosh. Let me see. A couple more chats. Well, Nakatani doesn't beat Inoue. Nakatani doesn't beat Inoue. Bam will beat Inoue. Bam is a level fighter. All right. At least somebody's getting that nod. Finally. Thanks for Coyote. Thanks for the show, my brother. Making my Thursday coffee while listening. Well, look, I appreciate it. Look, hopefully, I'm glad you're enjoying. Oh, that's the wrong sound. Good gosh. I about had some ominous tones as you making the coffee. But it's great. It's phenomenal. I really do appreciate all of you being here. But look, we gotta go. Shakur is a B- fighter. If he beats Teo, I really hope you raise that level up at least to a B. at least to a B. If he beats Teo, at least raise up to a B. I think he's an A-level fighter, or at least an A- fighter at minimum. But if he beats Teo, at least raise it to a B. Please, I'm begging you. Just to a compromise. Don't even put him at an A. Just put him at a B. Just put him at a B. If he beats Teo, at least put him there. At least. At least. And I would, oh Lord, I would appreciate it. But look, we gotta go. We gotta get out of here. In all seriousness, we're legit wrapping this up and sending this home because we gotta go and we gotta leave. So thank you all for tuning in. Thank you all for listening. And with all of that being said, this has been a very long but very entertaining episode of The Watchable with me, host Jean-Louis Welch. Yes, indeed, this Thursday ended off strong, and it's been a phenomenal show. Thank you to everybody who tuned in and supported and donated to the stream, like Mr. Miyagi and others. If anybody came through, and if you still want to support the show, hey, we got Cash App and PayPal, links down below in the description, and we also have Super Chat, Super Gifts, and everything else under the sun to be able to entertain and view you all, or entertain and help support the channel. We appreciate everybody who came in and chatted and supported on the stream. It's been a phenomenal time. It's been a phenomenal show. Please leave a like on the video before you get out of here. It means the world to me. Helps us to push the show out to the masses of the boxing and the sports world in general. Also, be sure to subscribe to the channel. If you haven't already, come on and join the empire. Come on and be a part of this incredible community that we're building up together. Be sure to share the show with everybody that you know, so we can keep on building up this empire together. And be sure to go and hit the notification bell. That's it. So we can go through and know whenever we post right here on YouTube and on every podcasting platform imaginable. Listen to us wherever you listen to podcasts, on YouTube or Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Rate it 5 stars there. And hey, we're going to be back on Thursday, talk about more boxing, talk about more sports, talk about the NBA, NFL, and others. And it's going to be the whole show. It's championship rounds. So you all drive the conversation and y'all control the flow of this entire show. And we want to see what you all got to say. So bring your A game, bring your thoughts and comments. We're going to have a joy. It's going to be a great time for us to listen and enjoy, and just to have a great all-around endeavor. Absolutely. And again, you all support this show. You all make this thing possible. I cannot do anything without you, the viewing and listening public. So again, thank you all for tuning in. Thank you all for supporting. We had over 300 people come through and listen to the show today in collective. Let's see if we can break 500 on Friday's episode. It's been a great time. It's been a great event. Hopefully y'all will be back. And hey, I've been Jean-Luc Welch. Y'all have been wonderful. Peace and love. Oh, we are out here. Yes, sir. We're going to see you all on Friday. Be safe. Be blessed. Enjoy the rest of your day. And be back here same time, same place, same channel for all the more entertainment and fun on The Watch Report. So please, peace and love. We out.